Welcome, dirty peasants, to episode 72 of Wartwood Gazette, the Amphibia podcast. This week we'll be covering, this will be part 3 of our coverage of Marcy's journal. I'm your host, Lombaticon, and join me today we have Nick.
What's up, people?
And Impact.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
Alright, guys, thanks for coming on for the final portion of this journal coverage. I guess news this week, or the past 2 weeks. This is gonna come out sometime. This is like the episode, like what you're listening to right now is probably coming out around April. Did Matt tweet anything?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's been pretty much the same. Like, I mean, what's it called? The Barnes and Noble interview is coming up like the 26th. So I think I got that right, 26. But yeah. Or Q&A, not interview.
Okay, that'll still be pretty insightful though.
Yeah, because I don't think we've had Matt talk about the journal specific, get questioned by the journal specifically too much. So hopefully it's good questions. So yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. And it might have been delayed.
Wait, really?
That's what Chuck's posting in the chat. Because apparently, the link for the planning thing moved to June.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wow.
Oh, god damn.
3 months. Yeah,
Damn.
3 months.
Damn.
What happens? Wow.
Wait, did Matt make a tweet about that, though? I feel like he would have said something, right? Maybe it's just an error.
I don't think he said it.
I don't know. I think Matt would tell us, if there was a change in the date. He wouldn't,
Yeah.
He wouldn't, yeah, so.
Yeah, weird.
That's a long, March to June.
Yeah, no, bro threw that back by 3 months. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
I think last recording we mentioned that the Marcy journal sold pretty well, right? Yeah, I think we talked about stuff. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's all the news we have for now. And I guess we can just get right into the journal. And this picks up on entry 84, and we've switched perspectives. Previously we were with Marcy, and now we're with Anne. And Anne's kind of introducing herself to Joe, the journal.
To journal.
Yeah, it's kind of Anne describing after they her and the planners teleport to the freeway. They
Thumb?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you paused for a second. I thought something happened.
Oh, my bad. Okay, but yeah, the planners and Anne, just them getting back to.
I think. Did Impact? Did he pause again for you?
What?
Did he pause again for you? Because I think Thumb just paused again for me.
No, I hear him. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, never mind.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I saw my connection drop.
Also, make sure you're recording. Make sure you're recording too.
Yeah.
These sudden blips are scaring me.
Yeah. But
Okay.
So apparently, the journal just fell out of her bag. So somehow, somehow Marcy just chucked it into Anne's bag right after she.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seed sprig, I guess. Maybe Anne's bag fell off her or something during the fight. I don't know how that works. Anne doesn't even have the bag with her in true colors, right? Besides at the start of it. So I always assumed that maybe Marcy would give the journal to her before the battle in the throne room. So, but it's definitely not in the show. They just made this shit up. That Marcy put it in there. So,
And
I do like that though. Like in the sense of like I do like that Marcy is the one to intentionally put the to give Anne the journal. I don't know why. It makes it so that now when Anne reads the journal, it doesn't feel like she's prying into Marcy's thoughts. Like it feels like Marcy actively wanted Anne to know what she was thinking. So I like that.
Yeah.
yeah, if only Marcy actually let the journal know what she was thinking. But yeah,
I
like
was gonna ask, why did she draw like that nose and mouth? I don't know.
yeah, I have
I,
no
I
idea.
don't
I
know
was trying.
either.
I don't know what she's doing.
It's
Yeah.
random.
I don't know. I don't know. So when the heck did Anne write this? Like, so you talk like what did Anne write? So like Anne was just like, I don't know. It's like Anne was just like writing in her journal while they're just like walking through the city, and the planners.
I think like
And
I feel like with the logic of the journal is a little weird in general. I
yeah,
think it's starting to get a bit strange once we went to like not even true colors
yeah,
or like
yeah.
for a lot of the
It's
journal. Like
just
how is
like
Marcy writing this or Anne writing that?
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
you
She
definitely have to kind of like what's the word like have some
yeah,
like disbelief. I guess I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, like
I was like, yeah. No, I mean you're right. You're right. You're right. It's really funny to point out the natural the inconveniences that should have been there when they were writing in the journal. Like Marcy writing in the journal while she has like a sword for her chest. Like that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
yeah, and I think like once we get later into Anne's like portion, I think that problem kind of like becomes like kind of like I guess it becomes like more like of a like criticism for me later on in the journal. But we'll
Oh
get to that
wow.
part.
Ooh,
But
spicy, spicy.
but yeah, so like immediately yeah, so this takes place before Anne talks to her parents. This entry, and she kind of like she talks about like not she thinks about Marcy, and
Yeah.
Marcy's clearly like on her mind. Uh, and she's kind of like in denial.
Yeah, pretty much the same characterization we get for her in 3A. Like she pretty much says the same thing she said in New Normal, but like with more words, essentially. So yeah, like the I say this part right now doesn't change Anne's characterization too much. I think it adds a lot of details, and we'll get to that as we go along. But like it stays very true. This doesn't feel like a rewrite of the season, which I'm glad. What didn't feel that way. It definitely felt more like we're gonna fill in these holes that were existent in the show, but like we're gonna make them bigger. We're gonna fill them more. So like yeah, like Anne isn't like doesn't have a completely different mindset than she did in the show. So yeah.
Yeah, and then the next page it kind of takes place after uh she reunites with her parents. Uh yeah, kind of like Anne's insight of like why she didn't like tell her parents everything just yet.
Yeah. Which again, pretty similar to the show. I think the only thing here is that like I feel like the journal kind of tries to emphasize more that Anne's doing it for the planters specifically, which was like a part of her motivation. She says it in Anne's Terminator. I always got the vibe though that Anne was doing it for herself too. You know what I mean? Like she was trying to also not think about everything too much. And as soon as she did, it would like fuck up completely.
Mm-hmm.
She even says that she isn't trying to. So but it tries to focus a bit more on the responsibility aspect to it, which again I think the show did too, but emphasizing it more here. So
I like how like the planners were confused by like chicken and beef and thought they were like exotic proteins. The beef I can kind of
which
get
is,
because I don't think we've ever seen like a cow,
we had the cow
the
tail,
caterpillars.
yeah, but that doesn't count. That's not beef. So
But they have chicken, technically. I mean,
they do. Wait, do they? I have to.
the chickalist.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
chick-
Well, I mean that's a little different
yeah,
because they
yeah,
have like the
yeah,
the
yeah.
birds in
Because I guess,
Vimeo.
yeah, like they're too dangerous to take down, I guess.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like
Especially the chicken. Oh, my God. So I don't want to say the chicken list is like the strongest. Maybe they're top three. I don't know because it's crazy that I don't know. They didn't even like defeat the chicken list. They're just racist. The chicken list was like, wow, this is too much, guys. And they just left. Like, uh,
it's weird. I wouldn't consider the chickless to be because I think the chickless is the most dangerous, but like the herons definitely were like more notorious. You know what
yeah,
I mean in the
Yeah.
show, like, and they're like more consistently a threat. Um, not to the planters besides in all obviously the past, right? But not in like in the current show besides all in, but like Sasha and Grime have to deal with them too. So yeah.
Yeah. And so they immediately agree that they're not gonna tell Marcy and Sasha's parents, and
Yep.
this
ooh,
is where we kind of get
ooh.
like in entry 86 we're getting like the
We're getting it.
like
Oh my
filling us
God,
in like
they're
Yep.
filling us in.
Mr. Wu
My
delayed
God.
the start of his job, and
Ooh,
Yep.
like
wow.
Sasha didn't really tell much about, doesn't really
Her
talk about her
family.
parents. Yeah, like
This is interesting. I
Wow.
feel like when I was trying to look up fan feedback of the show, not the show, of the journal, I didn't really notice a lot of people talking about
this
any
page.
of the pair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hear that much about,
Wow.
maybe I'm not looking around the right places, but I didn't see anything off like Reddit or Tumblr or
That's interesting.
Twitter or anywhere about it. I didn't There was like I haven't even seen any like fan art of any of the parents either or anything. I guess because they don't do anything like in terms of the book really. We just see their faces. But
Yeah.
like yeah, like no conversation about it. There was like, to be fair, I think a lot of the fandom kind of figured out the deal with Sasha's parents pretty
Yeah.
with the letters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah. I think everything here where Anne's like kind of like what Anne's thinking about here was kind of like thought about by the fandom back when it first came out.
Yeah.
Like back when we first
Yeah.
we had that interview
Yeah.
where like Matt sort of just like explained the letter thing in Froggy Little Christmas, and
Yeah, I think my beef with not this page, but
Ooh.
I think my thing with it was I just sort of wish the show established kind of what its stance on the parents were, like before we got like the letters. So then we kind of understand, because I think a lot of people in the fandom thought that the letters were set up, right? Oh, they're setting up the parents to show up. But like the letters didn't really change the status quo of the parents in the show. They don't know about the events that are going on in the story. They aren't really informed to actually help or anything, and they weren't really important to 3B's narrative. But at the same time, the show has never addressed or talked about them. So it feels like it leaves kind of this void where you don't really know the show's perspective on it. Like not like Anne or Anne's parents, but like how are the showrunners thinking of these characters and like what like let us know that they're not gonna not be involved, but like let us know your stance on these characters so we understand when the letters show up, it's not set up, it's closure. I think that I think this these small details, even if it was like one sentence from Anne or something, or from the Boone Shores, would have helped. Especially with fandom talk to the parents of like of they're gonna show up eventually, blah, 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 blah. It was a whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's like a really good take because it's just, I don't, it's odd. It's definitely just one of those things where you just want to like, you know what I mean? I just want the hot scoop and like sort of like what was the idea within the writers' room? Was this something like sort of put down by Disney itself? Because I don't know. Yeah, because I agree. It definitely just feels like something that could have just been like a one line thing that just says like their current. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird because they're just felt like there was like a bunch of things up in the air with 3A where you just had to like where everyone had to like sort of cope in their own way. You know what I mean? You had your non-believers and then you had your believers. No one knew what was going on.
I think I think that's my thing with new normal being like I think new normal needed to chill out at the start a little bit more. Like just a little bit. Like just give us those details. Because I feel like if you weren't in the fandom, you probably aren't thinking about this stuff. I feel like every single time I see like I'm trying to not make this too much about a 3A talk and the fandom as a whole, but like if you were like I noticed like reaction channels didn't really ask about that. It wasn't really like a conversation, but the fandom was talking about it a lot. And it's like I think just again getting those small details that are like, hey, the Woos are still here, guys. They didn't just leave their daughter behind. Like they're still in LA, or like the Waverights are like a little weird. They don't know where they're at right now, and that's it. We don't set them up showing up in the show. We establish where they're at, so we don't have to think about them or have a conversation about it. You know, like just plug that hole instead of like leaving it. You know, I don't need to know like who Marcy and Sasha's parents really are. To be honest, it wasn't really important by 3B. Again, just like plugging in that plot hole. You know, that's all.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean that's totally fair. It's totally fair. Oh, go ahead, Tom. You're about to say something.
Oh no, because I think what Chuck posted, I think Matt did mention in another interview that like the reason they didn't know how to like fit the parents into the story without it kind of like not messing with the main focus, but like
Yeah.
it would have been like a apparent like I don't know where the exact quote is, but it was just like
No, I know what you're talking. I don't know. I remember what you're talking about.
yeah, because I know. I think the point was that like they didn't want to like kind of like antagonize like or villainize like the parents.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that either. I wouldn't want that either because I feel like if you were gonna do the parents, you have to go all in on it. You couldn't like and what I mean by that is like if you wanted the parents to be a part of the show, you have to go all in. You can't like half-ass it, you know.
All in.
So it was a go big or go home kind of thing with it. So like I always thought it was fine because I feel like 3A has a lot more shit going on outside of the parents. You know what I mean? And it's not like we really needed to know Sasha and Marcy's parents throughout their arcs as characters. Even Marcy running away from her parents, like, what's the word? Like, that scene we never see Marcy's parents in the scene when she runs away. So it always told me like, oh, these characters probably aren't important, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm like 50% sure. So, but I mean, I agree with not having the parents in the show because it's like I don't know how to fit them in all the invasion shit. and all the 3B stuff. I don't know. You'd have to make 3A like a whole season. I feel like a
Yeah.
whole 20 episodes, and I don't think we need to last on Earth for 20 episodes, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I'm like definitely like a minimalist of my, I guess like my I'm calling like my 3A criticism, where I'm just like I'm like definitely where I'm like, yeah, I like I like what the season was. I like this direction, but I'm definitely one of those people who's just like, okay, just like tweaking a liner here just to like, give us some sort of bracing, right? To like just settle in and understand the direct, because it's funny because I know we always say like I know I always say that like I don't know, it's weird because it's like, we always say that we don't fully appreciate like let's call it like an amphibious season or like a half of one until we have like the full picture in mind. We never really fully appreciate the whole thing until we like just know where it's going completely. But darn it, I'll admit I do wish that did hold up 100% with 3A. Like I'll admit that I did hope that, but I mean it is what it is. It really is just what is what it. It is what I love saying that. It is what it is. But
yeah, I
yeah, I don't
think.
know. I mean, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, Nick. You keep going. I want to cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's weird because it's just such an odd case because I feel like I rarely have seen this issue with other shows where it's like I can just piece together what they're going for and just find satisfaction with that. But it's also just the pain of like, oof, if only we just had like these one or two lines. It's weird. I guess like every show's like a different case, but it's just like it also just leaves me how I'm trying to think of like other stuff I've watched where I'm just this torture. But I guess that just shows how unique Amphibia is or something.
I think like, what's the word? I feel like, all right, because leaving it to fandom interpretation, I think was okay, but I also like when I think when we were getting to season 3, there's a kind of there was always an assumption that Sasha and Marcy's parents were like terrible bad people, even though we had like 2 lines of Marcy's parents, so it's like I can't really judge the whole characters off this one scene. So I think I've seen a lot of people say that it would have been nice to know about the parents in order to stop that interpretation, which I don't fully agree with. I feel like the fandom is always gonna, not always, but a lot of fandom usually assume the parent is to blame for uh what's the word, like
Everyone's
a
problems.
child acting. Yeah, like that happened with Camila too in the Owl House. People just kind of made the assumption that, and I get why to a certain degree with Camila. We didn't have a lot of like context, but that's exactly why I didn't make a judgment out of it, because we didn't have a lot of like text of the situation. So it's like, and there's other shows with this too. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. And once we got confirmation that they weren't like terrible people, then no one really
Yeah.
talked about them after that point. It was like it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah, because I guess it was like one of those things where like the discourse was I don't know, it was weird. It was weird because I guess we're like, um, again, I guess that's just one of the things that makes Amphibia unique. Because I don't know, I guess everyone was just so used to the idea of like problem children coming from like problem parents, but it's like, nah, here it was just the basic idea of like maybe there was just something sort of wrong with them when they were younger that just was never really ironed out, and it just became like a bigger issue. I think that that's really just what drives a lot of like the ideas behind like these three, and like I don't know,
I
it's I'm like I just have the point. I just find it kind of funny. Like why does Anne have like a baby photo of Sasha? Like
Yeah,
where did they
I
find
was
that?
gonna bring that up. Like, I think
Insane.
Matt mentioned it in like a Twitter
oh
post. Like, he was like, "Oh, should I include like a picture of them in the journal?" And like, I forgot who like commented,
So
was
funny.
like, "Wait, why are we getting this?"
Yeah, like why do we have a baby photo of Sasha? Like how does
I don't
Anne
remember
have
that.
that? Like what the heck?
Oh, I think it was
Oh,
Vinny.
Like
I think like, wait. I was just thinking. Well, it's probably because like that was the only time like Sasha's parents were like around before they divorce, so that's the only time, like, one of the only pictures she's gonna have of like Sasha with her whole family. That's the assumption I made. Like, that's the earliest picture she has of like before Sasha's parents divorced and like they went their separate ways. That's like one of the few pictures she has of them together. So that was my assumption anyway. So
Yeah, but it's just like Sasha was already like private with her life, so it's like, how did Anne get hold of all these?
oh,
Yeah, I got that baby photo. I don't know who gave her that. I don't know who gave her that. Like I can see Marcy makes sense because it's like who knows, maybe they could have been over there.
Yeah, that
Maybe
was
they could
Mar-
have been
that.
the ones taking that photo.
it's
Yeah,
your 13th
Like,
birthday. So
yeah,
because I
like
think
it all makes sense.
it was confirmed that like Marcy was like the oldest of the group, right?
That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me. It's so like
That's
what?
weird.
What? That is
Kind of
weird.
like it. Though. I don't know. It's weird, but like I don't know. I kind of like that.
As long as Sasha doesn't turn out to be the youngest, I'm gonna lose it.
I think she's the middle child, right?
Thank God. Oh yeah.
Anne's the youngest.
Thank God. Yeah, Anne's the youngest.
I mean, does it really make a difference though? Like,
yeah,
No, it doesn't matter. They're like the same age. Like it doesn't matter. But
you're right.
and like entry 87 is like, Anne's still like thinking about like Sasha and Marcy, and I mean, a lot of this is gonna be me saying like, yeah, Anne's like thinking about them, and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe she is. Maybe she's not. Who knows?
I mean, like I know Matt and Adam, like they kind of like took the journal as like a chance to kind of like, yeah, fill in like
Ouch.
these holes and
Fill in the blanks.
yeah,
Yeah.
fill in these blanks. And I think one of the big blanks that some people had were like Anne's thoughts on like Sasha and Marcy during this like during this time in the show.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this. This is where I'm like. This is where I'm like branching off. This is where I'm deviating from those thoughts. To me, I would have just been. I feel like the whole Sasha and Marcy stuff. I think for me, I was always of the idea that because to me, this whole arc, just to simplify, so I don't go on a rant for like 5 minutes. Her whole arc in 3A was her just getting comfortable to face the things that she left behind in Amphibia. So I think for me, I was very fine about her. Like, goddamn, I guess again, it always just goes back to normal. But I think I was just so fine about her even saying like a word about that. In fact, I was chilling. I was chilling. I was chilling the whole time. I think and it just goes back to the parents. I feel like they're just an odd spot that could have just I personally feel like could have just been like taken care of with one line or something before like Fragile Christmas. Then like Marcy and Sasha, I don't know, it was weird. It was weird. To me, I always just found solace in the idea that she was just preoccupying herself with the planners entirely.
Yeah.
And only focused on and only became brave enough to even think about those two in Fragile Christmas. Honestly, I feel like the more I leave behind that arc, the more I'm just like tweak the new norm a little bit, have one line about the parents, then like everything else stays the same. I would that's where I'm at. That's where I personally am at.
Yeah, and like I don't want to make this too much of a thing because I actually agree with the criticism that I think Anne could have talked about them more. I don't even think I needed like stuff in the journal that we'll get to later, but like I just need to get an idea that okay, like Anne just emphasize more that Anne isn't sure how to feel about them, and like slowly but surely we're kind of getting her thoughts because I think in 3B we get a decent idea of what's going through Anne's head, like with Sasha. Like she doesn't say it out loud, but you can tell that Anne is like doesn't fully trust Sasha, but also is very much willing to work with her in this situation. And that's causing conflict and whatnot. And with Marcy, she just says it out loud by the finale of what's going through her head with her. So like I always thought it was more of a pacing problem and less of a thing that's not in the show. You know, like even Anne talks about Marcy in New Normal, but it's kind of quick. It's fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's like slow down a little bit. Like like give us a better idea of what's going on. So it's one of those things where Amphibia can do a lot of this stuff in its writing where it will what's the word? It's very dense, where one line will mean a lot to a character, and then they'll kind of go to the next one. It's not rushed, but more so like the story is telling you a lot with very little. So there, like I think that kind of like style didn't work for Marcy because we kind of needed more time to chill out. So I don't want to make this a whole new normal like talk, but
Yeah. The new
yeah.
normal rant or new normal review. Like we're like, you know, it's like a 2 hour. It's like one of those like 10-hour video essays in Star Wars right now. Like, that's what we're popping off with.
I just
Let's
realized
see.
we're like 5 pages in.
Yeah,
And it's been like half an hour.
Yeah,
But
Oh my
yeah.
god, what?
Time to
Oh.
go. I like
We
it's
gotta go.
time to
yeah, like
move
so
on
yeah, so like Anne
from the
does
Super
bring up
Series.
like
It's time to
Hop
move
Hop in the
on.
music box, so she's kind of like beginning of the end kind of like hinted at it, but here she just like says it out, like just says it, like she's like comparing the situation with the Hop Hop in the box with like with what happened with Marcy and Sasha about them patching
Yeah.
things up. Uh, Sprig made Anne hot cocoa, which is cute.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
adorable. Yeah,
You'll see
hot cocoa.
throughout this portion,
He's
like
so
Anne just
sweet.
yeah, Anne's like talking, and then she's like, "By the way, Sprig's great." And I'm like, "Heck
Yeah,
yeah!"
like, that's the oh man, yeah.
Like I think,
Oh
yeah,
damn!
like
Now I'm
we'll
thinking
get to
about
those
the
portions
ending.
again, but it's just so sweet
Yeah,
where she's just like, "Man,
yeah,
Sprig." I'm like,
yeah.
"Yeah,"
Springs it. Yeah, man.
but yeah, entry 88, like she kind of talks about the gems, like
Blue power, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they really lean into the fact that they're 13 in this realm because she's like fucking calling Andrews like a 13-year-old. I guess a 13-year-old girl would call someone a poo mouth or a dumb face. This is what I'm talking about, man. If she was like, if they never wrote this like she was 16, she'd be like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
She'd definitely be using this language. Like it's like, uh, yeah, like they
Yeah.
definitely just went with like the whole Disney mandated age. See, wow, wow, crazy. She's talking about the power too. I can, you don't know. Andrews better watch out. Wow. Oh yeah, hey, the all in hype, the all in the hype, the all in hype.
yeah. And Anne mentioned how like with the blue gems, like with the power, it's like she could like everything slowed down or something. Yeah, like
It's crazy. I could look at a place and instantly be there. Wow. As long as if anything was possible for a few moments. Wow. I could still feel it I can still feel it deep within me in my heart. It's there.
yeah.
And I guess that's pretty cool. I guess that's pretty cool, man. I don't even know what to say.
And entry 89 is kind of like the events of like the second half of New Normal, where
Yeah.
it's like they're about to go out.
Yeah, man. Remember we were arguing about like when they would get the new drip, but then it just happened off screen. Yeah, those are the days.
Yeah, basically Nick and I like when we were basing our predictions off like the trailer footage and the promo footage. It's like I forgot who said what. I thought Frobo. I thought everything he
Yeah,
had with Cloakbot would be until
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the end of
yeah,
New Normal, which
yeah,
was like completely off.
yeah, yeah. Like it seemed like it had a good chance. Like Frobo not Frobo Cloakbot would have like dropped in on them before like the second half of the episode. It seemed like there was a good chance for that, but I guess like what did it? I guess he did, but like it wasn't like the way we thought it was. I don't know.
Were you
I think
guys
I
theorizing this like off the trailer?
Yeah.
Like
no off like yeah it was off the trailer and off like the small this small 3 to 4 seconds of like promo footage we kept on getting
because it was like
during it. It was
Halloween,
like,
so we got like a couple of
yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I always thought that like when the trailer came out, I assumed that Cloakbot was gonna be a villain in Ann's Terminator, and then that was it. Like, because we have one-off villains throughout like most of Amphibia's runtime, right? Like, we don't have a lot of consistent bad guys throughout the show. Like this could be a whole thing about season 3, but like it's one of the few times where like we have like reoccurring villains in the show. So I don't know. I was sort of shocked that like Cloakbot lasted like 3 episodes. Like I thought he'd last like 1, and like that was it.
Yeah.
Like
Cloakbot was a champ. He was a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. Because I mean, you said it really, best before. But I think like yeah, just one of the great things about this show was just how it was always just changing it. Honestly, yeah, it was just always changing itself. Because Cloakbot was like, because I know we had Toadstool, but like Cloakbot was just that true sort of like classic villain. You know what I mean? That classic Saturday morning villain that just like appears to just appears to mess with like the heroes over and over again. Like he really carried that spirit, honestly.
Yeah, and then like because we had like Cloakbot, and then we had Mr. X, who isn't as good to be honest. But like he's
Whoa.
Ooh,
I
like that
mean,
little
like
side, like
Man,
Mr. X is kind of
save the shade for
like,
the retrospectives.
yeah, like calm, yeah, calm down, yeah. Say that.
But yeah, like it's a constant thing. Except when we get to 3B, 3B's weird, like because then Andreas and Darcy are kind of vibing until the Core and the King in the finale.
Chilling that castle.
Yeah, so like,
But I'll save that for the retrospective.
yeah, like for the entry 90, like, yeah, she talks about Cloakbot, and it kind of like describes the events like of Anne like kind of like activating her powers and beating them up, and Anne feeling bad for lying to her parents.
Man, I don't know. It just there's so much guilt in this entry from Anna. It's just like someone can please give her a break. My God, like she's constantly apologizing for stuff. It's like, and oh, okay, yeah, there it is right at the end. Wow, I won't lie, all this is overwhelming. I already have to keep those frogs safe and hunt for way back in the Amphibia. Now we have to put up with this assassin. And just look at her so tight. Dang. And it's like I didn't rewatch 3 because I'm like, did anyone ever just help Anne? Like I guess there was at the museum, but it's like, did anyone ever just go like, Anne, you're handling too much, just like anyone just gave her a hug?
Doesn't Mrs. B pretty much say that in Ann's Terminator? Like she says a line where it's like what was the line? Like I don't know, isn't this all just a little too much? Like I always got the vibe that was referring to not to Anne specifically and to herself. So like I don't know, I feel like the whole thing of Anne having too much to handle and then figuring out that she doesn't have to handle it just by herself. Her parents help her, Dr. Jan helps her, Terry helps her. Eventually she uses those skills to collab with other people. So I don't know. It's kind of like a whole part of her arc.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, no. You're 100% right. You're 100%. I just mean it's like I'm just trying to. Was there just like a specific scene where she just gets to like, I don't know, I guess just sort of cry and someone just hugs her? It's like I just remember she was just like such a trooper in 3A. Like she just kept on going and going and going, and it's like, did anyone ever just? And I don't know. It just feels like she also spent like a lot of time just apologizing for stuff and like. Did anyone ever pity her? I just want, because even the planters, there's literally an episode of 3A where they just keep guilt tripping her.
Yeah, if you give a frog cookie.
Yeah, because
that episode's weird.
Did anyone ever just give her a break? My God, like someone just like, I know she got by the museum, but it's like just someone who just like tells her she's working. I guess she did an escape to Amphibia when she did get to cry and everyone. Okay, I guess there's that. There's that. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that.
Yeah, and Entry 91 is kind of like the hop till you drop
Yeah, this Gabby.
entry. Yeah, Gabby Gossip. Gab's the Gossip.
Yeah, Gabby. Yeah, Gab's the Gossip. I love it. Gabby Williams. Wow.
Yeah, and like yeah, and Anne kind of like
Nothing too
thinks about how dumb the Alaska story was, and
Yeah, Green Hop Hop. Classic. Look how adorable that little Anne is.
and then we have like
Yeah, the music.
so since like Anne wasn't in Turning Point, this is where like Anne kind of just gives her thoughts on Sasha and
my god, what the fuck is this?
no, you look at the first line.
Sasha. Like what is all this?
My hero, my villain.
Like, this isn't my girl.
My savior, my
hero, my villain, my savior, my downfall. Oh, just kidding. I suck up. Thank you. Oh my god.
You read that real time.
Thank God. Oh my god. Yes, I am. Like literally, this is. Oh my god.
I guess the like. I'm trying to look at what's like kind of like new. I guess like Anne like kind of admitting that she like hid behind Sasha and like let her do all the choices for her. Actually, no,
I felt like we knew that though.
Pardon?
Oh, I said I felt like.
Yeah, we already knew that back in.
Like knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is all like I know this. I'm glad Anne knows this, but
yeah, I mean, man, see, I'm telling y'all, man, like that. I'm just reading these and just I don't know. This is why I love Anne. Just I don't know. Yeah, it's just nice that we got a story. It's just nice that we got a story for the Annes in life. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, some of these are just some of these lines just hit hard.
I think like what's the word? I guess it gives us. Yeah, I feel like because the journal came out after the show, which it should. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but like we sort of get all of Anne's thoughts of Sasha in 3B. That like, yeah, like we already knew that Anne was willing to trust Sasha again. I guess like because the show doesn't really make it explicit of what's Anne's like in 3A itself. We never get an idea of like, okay, what is Anne's stance on Sasha after True Colors? What is Anne's stance on Marcy? We don't get that direct pinpoint like this is how she thinks about the girls now, which honestly was a thing I was hoping to get in New Normal when it first aired, just because like that is kind of a big mystery. True Colors doesn't let us chill out and breathe. Like that episode's going at like really quick, like Mach 5, like not in a bad way either, but like there's so much shit going on, that I think a lot of people wanted Anne to just be very direct with how she said her feelings about Sasha and Marcy. I think there's some truth to that, but I don't know. Like I felt like with this part specifically, I knew why Anne was trusting Sasha. Like I didn't really need this in 3A specifically. Yeah.
Oh, something an interesting thought. Yeah, I think, I think that this is. I feel like the journal. I feel like if like the journal's for everyone, but I feel like if you just had to say if you have the sake of the journal was really for, I feel it was definitely just for people who didn't really try to fill in the cracks themselves. I think it's just because I feel like if you just tried to like sort of think on the show based on what you already knew, you definitely could have made like a lot of these guesses yourself. Honestly, I mean, because I don't even think you're wrong for any of that, for saying any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll kind of go into my like I'll kind of touch on those points again, Nick, when we get to like the end of our cover, like when we finish this portion, because that kind of describes how I felt the book was written. But
Okay.
But yeah, I really like the Thai feud entry because I think it kind of addressed. They didn't address the fact that they didn't address the situation with like the planter's parents in that episode when I really think they should have. And I think that's kind of what, knowing that context is what made the episode bearable for me or understandable for me, knowing about after the raid and hopping wall. I just wish I wish that episode kind of like hinted at it, but like here this entry kind of like just tells us. And
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I get the vibe. Like I think majority of people figured it out though, right? Like I can't think of anyone who was like, I wonder if this has to do with Sprig not having a mom. Like it was a pretty easy like connection. I wouldn't mind if the show mentioned it, but like I feel like by season 3 you know who Sprig is at this point, that I don't mind them not doing that. You know, like if it was like season 2 or 1 maybe, but like with 3, like we've gotten to know this character for like 2 whole seasons, like over 40 episodes. That like I don't know. I didn't find it that hard to connect that dot. You know what I mean?
but I think seeing people reacting to it, it's like that's what I thought too. Impact. I thought people would get it, and then like I see people, man, Sprig's being really annoying. I'm like, yeah, that's
no, there's
that's the point. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like the fandom is gonna say some dumb shit. Like we just have to, you gotta have to deal with it. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's my opinion on it.
I don't know. Yeah, definitely it's an episode where I'm like, I don't know. I always feel like there's like a weird disdain for it. I don't know. It's like.
I feel like.
Come on. Plus, it's Ned. Like, who's gonna feel bad for Ned, man? This
Man,
guy was like
Ned.
harassing his family. Yeah, fuck Ned. We say fuck Ned at this time. Like this guy was harassing a family, like a grieving family who recently lost their
doing the Ned talk.
So he could exploit their culture. Like literally, he was trying like to appropriate their culture. Like he's this man. Like and like I'm gonna feel bad for him. Like he deserved every bad thing that happened on that episode.
Yeah, and like, people were like, how could Sprig do such a thing? It's like, bro, did you guys see Ned? What Ned was doing? Like,
yeah, like literally at the end of the episode, he's like, oh my god, what have I been doing these past few months? It's like, come on, it was right there.
Like Sprig going after him, that's like the worst. This is like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mrs. B, I don't even feel like she should have even like hired him, to be honest.
Also, yeah, she should have just told him to fuck off.
Yeah, like honestly, yeah, like.
But
I love that
we never see him again, so she might as well have said that.
Yeah, he just disappears. He just disappears.
Thank goodness he's not part of like the Earth crew.
Oh my god, yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna assume that he died. I'm gonna assume that he died during like the Andrews invasion or something. He doesn't show up again. Bro probably just died.
Ned died on his way back from from a Tiger run.
Yeah. I like how he even mentioned in the journal. Like, I'm not even. He didn't even say his name in the journal, brother. Like his own. He's not even on the journal. It's just about Sprig and her mom, as it should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We do have to shout out that detail. I really do like that detail of her. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's those sentiments. I don't know, like those small sentiments of like them just. You know what I mean? Because it was definitely just one of the fun. It was definitely just one of the fun parts of 3A. Just how like. How the family could connect over their own shared experiences. Like I always love that part. I mean, we're getting to. Oh wait, shoot, are they? Let's see. No, dang it, no, they don't talk about it in the journal. But I mean, you guys know what I mean. Like at the end of like what's it called? See, dang, I need to rewatch the film. I'm slipping. But like a year ago, I would have been like blah 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 blah. I would have been like firing off random episode names. I'm slipping. Yeah, venture in cats.
Wait, before we get to that, I like how we had a little picture of like I think Mr. Boonshoy made like pancakes for Sprig with bugs in them.
Yeah,
He's like Sprig's just like a happy little guy.
Yeah, no, it's so nice. So his mom, yeah, that's just so nice. That's so wholesome. And the
Yeah.
God, and I feel the cockroaches though, like that she had caught in traps the previous week. So what? Oh God, this was like oh, like I just imagine. No, I shouldn't explain. I should not explain it. I shouldn't even explain it. My God. Whew. But hey, good on her for doing that though. That was really wholesome. Oh, all right. Looks like it's gonna be right back. Okay, yeah. Let's just go on to the next page then. Okay,
94. It's just
94.
and
Yeah, this is. Oh my God, I can't even I don't even know what to say about it. This is definitely one of those details that make the journal really worth getting. I mean, my God, like I think
it's just funny.
Yeah, this is just great. I don't even know where to start. Like the fact that she's where do we even start this?
That she just
fact
got
that
the pun of the journal.
Yeah, she genuinely saw God Minnow. It's like she genuinely when she was high off a rocker, so she actually saw him. I'm like, I don't know how to process this. And it's like, what's funny is that it's not even it's like the form that it's like, was Anne seeing in the future? Was she seeing into the future when she was high? How does this work?
I mean, the gems being able to see the future doesn't sound like an impossible task. I mean, Leaf does see the prophecy in the moon falling and shit.
Oh shit!
That's not impossible.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
that'd be kind of I wonder if they could have used that in the show. Huh. Nah, I don't know how they would have used Anne looking in the future in the show.
Who knows? So have a lot of Ant. But you see this pun? You see this pun she just made? Anastasia. Oh my God, Anastasia! Wow. Jorna. So Anastasia energy Jorna. So I'm gonna draw you. God, dreaming. I can't even. The fact that it wasn't even just that line. They planted that domino line, and we were all joking. I feel like we were all joking back then. We were saying oh wow, we're gonna meet who were we even saying? We said yeah, we said Anne was referring to the night or whatever whatever the heck their name was, whoever they were. We were saying that, and it's I don't know. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. All the things they planted back then. I love it.
I just assumed that when Anne was talking about Domino being the Alpha and Omega, that was sort of a reference to Domino too, but the interdimensional thing was
yeah,
I had no clue. I love that was foreshadowing though.
Yeah. I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Adam Cole. I think he even tweeted about that line too. I don't know. It was just I don't know. It just makes I just really
True.
Yeah, I just really love this sort of I don't know that bookend feeling how it just makes the whole. I think there are just times where I just sit down and just think about, and I just get this warm feeling from just how I realized how much a big old adventure Amphibia was because we really just start with God, not yeah, because I think Matt wasn't kidding because he really just tracked the story of that sort of JRPG structure where it's you just start so simple and then by the end you just find yourself
increasing the stakes more and more. You're fighting God by the end.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. We jump from just the humble, literally, we jump from the very humble beginnings of 3A, and then go to them locked in a space battle against the core, and then Anne literally meets God of the universe, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I feel that. No, I'll save that for the 3A retrospective. I don't even.
Ooh, this could be another spicy take.
Maybe. Right. I don't know how many takes of mine are spicy or just me having a different opinion from the fandom.
Yeah, it's different event. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. But now we can move on to entry 95.
Which is like her fight at the museum, kind of like research and stuff. We get confirmation that she actually did sneak out to the drift store where they first found the music box, but like it was sold
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
See,
sold
oh
the
my God,
business.
yeah. Oh my God. Like, not to lock us in like another 20-minute conversation, but I was like, that's just one of the things I just, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where it was just driving you crazy. Where it was like, please, just. Oh, actually, no. She did mention. Okay, she did mention in the show that they did go. That she did have like an idea to go through like all the thrift stores in town, right? I think there was
Yeah.
that line. Yeah. Okay. There's that.
Do
There's that.
kind
Okay.
of an
Thank
insane
God.
amount of
Thank God we had that. Yeah. Thank God we had
do,
that. Thank God we had that.
yeah, and it's like because the fight at the museum entry is always like, I mean, I love fight at the museum. It's one of my favorite 3A episodes. And like, I don't know, I like how they handle it here. It's nothing like too, again, like I feel like this is emphasizing things in the show that we kind of already knew. I do think this part it's focusing a lot more on Anne's tired, so she's making bad decisions. But I would make the argument that Fight at the Museum has that and Anne not wanting other people to kind of help her out too much. She's only really trusting the planters to back her up or anything. She doesn't want her parents involved. And when she has the chance for Dr. Jan to help, it makes sense that she doesn't like what's the word? Like trust Dr. Jan immediately. She doesn't even try to like ask a few questions on the pod or anything like that on its history. You don't have to like you can kind of be she could easily be subtle about it without revealing Dr. Jan everything, you know? So I don't know. I think the journal a little bit focuses a little too hard on the tiredness part. I don't think it contradicts it, by the way. I don't think it like completely it rewrites this part of the show, but it definitely leans its focus more on Anne's tired, so she's making bad decisions. When it was more like, yeah, I just said it. I'm gonna repeat myself. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely just oh my! I also do like the little drawings she made. I mean, I guess this is what happens when you're like going on like a few days of no sleep. Oh
yeah,
shoot! Wow. Okay, I forgot that some of the entries just continued for like multiple pages. Let's see this. What do we have here? Let's see, diary. Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. She was just trying so hard for the plagiarists. She set up like a 2-day operation to check out all the thrift stores in a 50-mile radius. Like, where are they gonna? Oh, they're gonna get. She was gonna get her dad to drive them. Wow. Wow.
you know what? Looking at reading it back now, like I do really like the line of like two worlds need me and me alone to save them. No one thinks it's urgent. I it's very funny because I feel like this was like
Yeah.
a way a lot of fans talked about 3A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
like I felt like
This
even at
probably
the
need.
museum was yeah,
That's why we
you
need the plan just to. I'm sorry. I was just gonna make sure. That's why we need the plan just writing the journals. Let them give their perspective. Yeah,
go.
they were just. It's like, oh my God, it's just like one of those things. It's like all these different things that it was like all these different like little tiny little holes. That just made people go insane. Maybe I guess it made me go insane sometimes, but it was like I don't know. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I always like what's the word? I felt like Anne's like arc from getting stressed though is pretty like clear in the show to me.
Yeah.
Like Anne is like she's faking her confidence in new normal that she can handle everything. Yet she fucks up like the first time with Cloakbot. Yeah, she takes him out, but it was a close call. She hasn't made any progress on actually figuring out a way home. So she's getting really frustrated about everything. And then like it feels like in Adventures in Cat Sitting, she's like trying to look up a magazine about it and she gets frustrated and slaps it out the way. There's like a natural progression of Anne getting more and more frustrated, like of trying to find progress throughout the show, you know? I don't know. I always thought that actually helped a lot with the pacing because like what's the word? Like, it felt like when we were making progress in the show to a certain degree in terms of a specific plot element, and would be frustrated with that too, and then we would immediately go to big plot episode, big character episode for Anne, and then keep going
Yeah.
forward. There was always a
Oh
nice
no.
beat with
Yeah.
it.
No.
Like,
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I feel like. Yeah. I think for me. Yeah. 3A definitely. I think 3A definitely has like. I feel like this. I might need to do a serious rewatch, but I think that yeah. 3A definitely has like my favorite sort of structure of the series. Because I just yeah. I really like what you're saying here because it's just like yeah. When Anne makes yeah because like yeah, like each time Anne gains like a new ally on the team, it's like a huge pivotal step for her. Like she sort of de-stresses, she's able to rely on others more. And also yeah, also at the same time, she just gain like her powers, like she just gains more control over her powers and she just does
yep.
like just more insane things with it. It's like it's all just really well structured and no, I don't see it. Everything really does come together at the end because it just because they're also tracking the arcs of like the parents too, right? Like I specifically like Mrs. Boonchoi because she has like episodes here or there where she slowly just like gets more used to the planters, gets more used to
Yeah.
like how Anne is now, and it's just all well put together.
Yeah. And like, yeah, that's a very good point. I was gonna keep going on that, but like, I think I'm gonna keep going with the journal a bit. I 100% agree with you. Um, and then like the next page here, it's pretty much like
Oh man, God, yeah, I remember the frog ancestor. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was so crazy. Like we were like, because yeah, like the whole thing of Leaf, it was definitely just like an in your face sort of thing that like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like at some point the show knew that we knew that we knew what was up. They knew, and they just kept on shoving it in our face. They even had that one line where like Polly's like, "Whoa, she looks like us," and it's like. Come on. It's like she's literally a fuel sprig. Come on.
yeah, we knew she was, yeah, she was definitely
Yeah.
a planter. It felt like it would have been weird if she wasn't. Like they just made, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like so like I'm on like the next page and like
Ooh, on a Cookbot.
I
Yeah.
yeah, like which pretty much just
All of it.
retells right at the
Yeah.
museum.
He's like, jerk, bro, can you not? Like,
Mm.
what is this? What honestly aim what is this, Anne? Let's see. Oh man, yeah, yeah. This is just like a nice professor. I call her Dr. Joe. I meant Dr. Jan. Yeah, this is where I'm slipping, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is just I always I always just love that ending where it's just I don't know, man. Just and just I don't know. There's always just something about that scene. I don't know that it feels so much. It just feels so different compared to like a lot of like what I mean when the third act's winding down, like the like the lesson of the episode is being given. Like something about this scene always just hit different for me to be honest. Just with like I guess how Dr. Jan explained it and just how Anne connected with her and it's like I don't know. I don't know.
I think like I think the thing with it is this is one of the few times Anne has like a legit ally now. Throughout like season 2, she's constantly being betrayed outside of the people in Frog Valley she knows. And like she gets betrayed a little bit, well not a little bit, but like her trust is lost by Hot Pop a bit, then Sasha betrays her, then Andreas betrays her, then Marcy betrays her, the curator does too. Like it's very rare that Anne gets an ally she can trust in season 2, specifically. That it's really nice when Anne can finally have someone who's not an asshole help her out for a change. You know, not to say Sasha and Marcy are assholes, but like no, not assholes. Someone who's gonna betray her. Like it's nice for her to have someone who
Yeah.
she can just confide in. That's great. Like it's something I think she really needed. If Anne got like her trust betrayed again, like oh my god,
God.
it'd be over.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We're gonna get to that episode soon. Like that one, yeah. Because you just reminded me of that one episode. Like I'll name it soon, but yeah, it's really funny. But yeah, we'll get there. See. So yeah,
Yeah,
entry
and then
97.
which is just Temple Frogs, pretty much.
Like, I just love her, like, her circling Marcy, her messaging Marcy and Sasha, just circling that.
Yeah, gotta
My
let
God.
people know. Hey, she's thinking about him,
Gotta let
guys.
people know. Yeah, this is it. Like she mentioned them. There it is. This is your episode mention. Like it's there. Well, let's see.
And then you got some of planters saying,
"Oh, is this what
I
RG
don't know.
wanted us? Yeah, is this what RG wanted us to pronounce?
Yeah, I don't know how to say that yet.
I feel like it must sound racist. Like, no, I can't say it. I'm not gonna say that. You know what? I'm gonna go for Hongnam Yu Tinai, Hugh Mock, My Penrai, right?
And
How was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
What I'm saying. I don't know. Wow, to my yeah, Polly the Gene. Yeah, see, they're setting. Yeah, that's like another one of the nice touches I really liked about this arc. Just yeah, just setting up Polly's new interests. Super sweet. Wait, did fixing Frobo happen before or after this episode? No, it was after.
It was after.
Okay, yeah, so we're almost there. So I was going to say, wait. I was like, wait. Yeah, okay. Let's see.
I think like
Sneak binging mom's soap opera collection. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
So like I don't have too much to say for 97. 98 is
Yeah, 98. Oh my God, yes, 98's like a long one. She was just talking.
Yeah, Anne writes a lot more than Marcy does.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, like writing an essay here. Like I guess this helps for research papers because we did become like I forgot what the job was called. I know what it is.
I forgot what it was too.
Yeah, I forgot it was like something like a hype a something.
Herpetologist.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so she probably did have to write some research papers. So I guess it helps. But my God, it's like so much stuff here. I don't even know the touch. Like
I think
there's a Sasha Marcy mention. There it is.
Yeah. So this is a big thing. So like one of the things in the show that we didn't get was sort of Mr. and Mrs. Boonshoy's thought process on Sasha and Marcy. There's a cut scene like in Reunion about it that's technically, I guess, never canon, right? So like, I mean, I would consider it canon, but like it's not in the show. So it's like we don't actually know the Boonshoys' thoughts on Sasha and Marcy, but now like we kind of get the idea that they were kind of critiquing her a bit more hanging out with them, and Anne would be like, oh my God, whatever, like they're not a big deal, and then we ended up finding out they were a very big deal.
Yeah,
so
it's
not that bad.
Honestly,
they're really bad.
Yeah, it's just so funny, like the history of Mr. Boonshoy, because it's like he would have like appeared. He had 2 chances to appear before Mrs. Boonshoy twice. It was just and like what was it? It was like I think it was like Anne versus Wild and bro, see, I'm fumbling a reunion. I don't know how did I forget reunion? I'm fumbling the bag, but yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Let's see.
Yeah, I think like
what are the cool?
Which is like Anne kind of looking back at Marcy's old stuff about the Order of the Ulm and stuff. So
yeah, yeah,
she actually crazy.
She actually
just not like she uses it in the show. Yeah, which she doesn't really use it in the show. Like so, it's like.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that would have been really weird to add in the show. Like, like Anne's like, oh, by the way, Marcy like knew about the Ulms the whole time. Like, that'd be kind of
yeah. See, now we got entry 99, fixing Frobo. See, bunch of stuff. My God, dude, like, Anne needs like chill. There's like so much we need to cover on these pages. Like she wrote so much. I don't even know what to say.
So yeah, like it's pretty much just like Anne sort of has what's the word, like it's not too different from what happened in Fixing Frobo, to be honest. Like I guess there's the extra addition of like Anne having to make a cover story for Polly because like remember like Frobo destroyed the whole backyard. So like and Anne's parents don't know about all the robot stuff. So like she has to make up something for it. So
Yeah.
Which I
Who
like
else?
that addition. I like that addition because
Yeah.
it
Oh,
adds a lot
yeah.
to
Like,
Anne's Terminator. So
yeah.
then
Yeah.
like Anne having to you go, Nick. I keep cutting you
No,
off.
no, no. I was just gonna say, like, yeah. No, it just, yeah. I think I feel bad because I'm always like, ooh, I gotta make this joke while in fact talking. But you go ahead. You just talk. I was gonna say
Oh,
something dumb. You go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, like, because it adds to Anne's Terminator, because now Anne has to keep constantly like lying to her parents. It's adding up more. Like, I feel like in the show, Anne's Terminator still works for me. Like, I don't think it comes out of nowhere that Anne feels
Yeah.
guilty, but I like this addition of Anne having to constantly like lie over and over and over and over again, and all these lies are compiling together. That like Anne's like, fuck, man, I learned like to not lie in Amphibia, and now I'm lying all the time. Like my morality is like out of whack. So I like that addition. I think that's one of the few things that, not few things, but I think that's something that really adds to her arc there. And I like Anne's guilt is sort of building up more instead of like, I wouldn't say it's not built up in the show, but those extra details make it more clean.
Oh
So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, because I know like fixing trouble just ends on like the gag of like Mr. Buncho asking like what happened to the backyard, right? And it doesn't really show you Anne having to like, it doesn't really show Anne getting more and more pressured by what she has to cover up and stuff.
yeah, because like Anne has like, oh Nick, did I cut you off? Or...
Oh no, no, no. I literally stopped talking. You're good.
Oh, okay. I was good because Anne does feel guilt over how she's treated her parents, but like, what's the word? Like, it's more like it's less about her lying and more about her treating them poorly and not thinking about their emotional state. You know what I mean? Like after losing them for so long, she doesn't even consider like, why is she at the Thai community? Why does she need to be here? Like, why does it matter? Like, all this stuff is so stupid. We have to get to Amphibia. This is all filler stuff. Come on. You know? But like, she sort of starts to realize, no, it's not. This is actually really important to her parents and the whole community, and plays a bigger part in her arc. So I don't know why I was going with that. Why I keep talking
No,
about
no,
it.
it's all good. No, but I also just want to mention it. It's yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this definitely just gives us more. Yeah, I was gonna say like the last portion of the second to last paragraph just gives us more insight into just how Anne thought about her parents in general. Like it's crazy because it's crazy. I guess I thought she was more loving of them because she just says like well let's see language. Yeah, they've definitely earned my trust, and it can't believe I'm saying this respect, and it's like wow. like I
I
knew season one Anne was like a brat, but it's like damn. Like I didn't know she was like that much for one.
I think like I always assumed that her relationship with her parents were like was not like bad, but like Anne never thought about them because I feel like Anne's empathy plays a lot bigger of a role in season 3 than like season 1. She doesn't even know she has it. She doesn't know that's
Yeah.
her gift. That's what she's good at.
Mm.
And so like when she gets to season 2 and she's like recognizing her growth and knowing who her identity is outside of Sasha and Marcy, she starts actually like thinking about everything on Earth and Amphibia a little differently. And that adds to her parents, right? Because now like now she's like, oh man, like my parents are a lot more capable than I thought they were, or they're actually being a lot nicer than I thought they were. And she's building this relationship with them throughout the season, and then Escape to Amphibia hits, right? Because now she's got us to leave them behind, and that adds to the whole arc of the show. But I always thought that like Anne never had a great viewpoint of her parents, but she never dismissed them either. It was just like I think Anne just never appreciated her parents on Earth. And I think like the addition of the Sasha and Marcy, like them not liking the Boon Choi's not liking Sasha and Marcy, or maybe like they didn't like Sasha, but they did like Marcy, but like for different reasons. I would have liked that, you know.
Yeah, who
But like
knows?
it that extra detail, like it adds a lot more because now we kind of get more of the idea of the past with the Boon Choi's. But again, I don't feel like 3A didn't have that, but it's the journal coming and being like, hey, like here's some
Yeah.
extra details to kind
Yeah,
of
this
fix
is
things.
definitely one of the good points of the journal.
Yeah.
All right, on
Then we get to
to entry.
100.
Okay, yeah, my thing is my okay. My thing was stop. I tried to scroll a bunch of times, so I don't want to work. Where's it? Entry 100. So now we got Exterminator. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh wow, she really drew herself kicking a Cloakbot. Damn, she should have drew herself murdering Cloakbot. Like she better talk about that. She better talk about the brutality of it. The brutality of it is still like insane, and like the fact that Cloakbot was confirmed to feel pain. It's like my god, they
Yeah,
really fucked.
the
They
episode
screwed
was
him up.
brutal. No one talks
Yeah,
about it either. Like
yeah, that's
people
crazy.
mention it, but like they just beat the shit
Like
out of him.
Like yeah, basically like they destroy his leg, they skewer him, then they dent in his head. It's like my god. Then they just leave him like crippling on the ground. He's like ugh. He's just done. It's like crazy. It's like crazy.
Yeah, but for this entry, like not anything too different happens
Yeah, nothing.
besides
Yeah,
we know that like Anne pretty much explained like Anne pretty much explained Andreas the invasion and not Cloakbot because Cloakbot's already defeated, but she explained that pretty much. I don't think from what I'm trying to reread it again. I probably should have read earlier to be honest. But like I don't think she talks about rescuing like Sasha and Marcy are in peril, which to be honest, like I don't really know what she's supposed to say besides like Marcy might be dead and Sasha she might be dead too. I don't know. Anyways, like it doesn't really help too much. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean that man. It really is like the nice page. The nice page is just nice. I don't know. It's weird. Oh wow. I guess a pretty nice detail that we can point out is, yeah, is I feel like when Anne was just rambling and just freaking out, there's sort of like you can tell, yeah, there were different paragraphs, but it just felt like a sort of like stream of consciousness. But then like literally in the next page, there's just like these nice breaks in between the paragraphs that just it just feels like Anne's mind is just more well ordered now. You know what I mean? Just based off how she wrote this.
oh, I see. I see what you mean. That's
Yeah,
actually a nice detail. Yeah.
it's pretty sweet. I don't know. It's just crazy because I'm like reading this and just realizing how much of a brat Anne was. I'm like. I don't. But it's weird. Yeah, this really is like a something. This really is like a story for the ants in life because it's like, yeah, I
It's
don't know.
easy to forget.
There just feels like there's so much honesty in this with how like someone who never truly had to challenge themselves as a person, just in every in every facet of like what that means. It's like, yeah, I don't know. These specific details they have here where God, where Anne had such a long history of lying, of never being honest, of just being like a rat. Like she's had such a long history of that. It's like, yeah, even in situations as parallel as this, she half expected them not to believe her. That's like crazy. That's like actually crazy.
Yeah, because I think that like a good example of like a lie and usually would do is like with a report card or something like so yeah this is just a nice detail in general so I think like what's the word like I like the addition that the she went to bed like a bit more secure in herself and like
Yeah,
things feel a bit more manageable like which I like because that's sort of what Anne's like second part of Duet is about. You kind of see her chilling out a little more and kind of having a
yeah,
balance with the whole thing. Like, and also like I feel like I'm gonna keep saying this. I feel like this was in the show too, but it was more represented through the blue powers because that's the whole like thing with her calamity powers. They're always like representations of her growth in the show. When Anne uses her powers, it's a big like character moment. You know, like it's when Anne has the more control she has over the powers, the more like secure she is as a person, you know? It's
hmm
connected to her confidence. So, which is kind of interesting because True Colors doesn't really establish that. It more of establishes based on anger. And I guess it's more of a combination of a few things. So, but like I do like how it's used as a narrative device for a narrative drew line for Anne's arc. So I think that again, like the stuff of her being secure was always in the show, but I like how they're portraying it a little differently in the journal. So yeah.
So yeah. Plus, it is nice just to have Anne be able to say that she's just starting to take it easy and just actually feels like she can get a good night's sleep. It's like, yeah, honestly, yeah, it is. I think this is just another one of the best parts of the show, just getting those nice little tidbits to add more to the episodes they're based on.
Yeah. And going to I
Yeah,
think we
entry
can go to
101.
101 with
Yeah.
Mr. X.
Mr. X. So this is like her interpretations of them, Jenny. Wow, Jenny and Mr. X. Well, it was bound to happen. The very public incident with the cloak bot. Like, threw that eye over it. That's creepy. The government is now fully aware of the planters and are on our trail. Wow.
I like the idea that Anne wanted to wear Heelys.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, like when she was a kid, that was funny.
Yeah. I guess that's showing that she's starting to loosen up or something, because she just, I don't know, she just drew that fun little doodle. Before it was like all that egg stuff of Anne. It was drawn how tired she was. Let's see.
Yeah.
Fallen Arcway. Dad actually saved the day. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, I guess there's nothing too new.
Too crazy. Yeah.
Did they say anything about what they explained to? Yeah. I guess there's nothing too new. But yeah.
What
Good
what Anne
another good entry.
explained to?
Yeah, I guess just like explaining
parents?
more stuff to the parents. I guess like that was.
That's kind of done like a bit earlier. So like.
Yeah, I guess
trying to
it's like.
find the page. But she says like she'll explain the invasion, she'll explain Andreas, she'll explain Cloakbot, and as soon as like she's a I guess that's an exterminator, I guess. The more I think about it, right?
Yeah, I guess
crap.
I guess it's complicated. It's like it's somewhere in between Ant's Terminator and Mr. X. Like it's just somewhere in between. He's like, go mom and dad once again. Oh, hey, there's a Sprig page. There it is.
Yeah, Sprig's birthday page.
Happy birthday, buddy. Let's go. Celebrating Sprig's birthday today. I got so caught up in looking for a way back to the Amphibia. I didn't even realize it was my best bud's her best bud. Wow. I can't tell you how much Sprig means to me, Joe. He's the sweetest being and really has helped me see my own self-worth. If anyone likes you as much as Sprig seems to like me, you can't be doing things all too wrong, right? Wow. Those are some drawings of my favorite memories of Sprig play.
Why is the cop episode?
Yeah, it's about Croaker punishment. Like the one episode we make fun of. There's so much there. But oh my god, I love how it's Groundhog Day too. Like the two. Oh my god. Wait. What's this one? Like the one where they're eating. Wait, what's this? Wait, what's the one where they're eating food? I don't know why I can't put my finger on it. It's like I know this is definitely like an Amphibia. It's a season 1 thing, right? But
I don't think that's
I guess it's not an episode. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think it's just like just another. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just funny. Like some of the like the. No, I'll say that this brand montages were really fun. I think we can all agree on that. It's just funny how like some of like the at least looked upon episodes were the ones that she just handpicked. I'm sorry, it's just funny to me.
I'm just noticing now that they sort of combine Sprig's birthday and Spider Sprig into one entry.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I went to the next. Yeah, she said Spider Sprig page. My God. I guess she was really pissed at him. Sprig asking to use Mom's song this soon. Sounds like he wants to try. Wow, sounds like he's trying.
That's a nice extra detail.
Yeah. Mom said she's shown the basics. Love how close those two have gone. Oh,
I wish we got that
little drawing of them. Man,
that's great. I like that because it adds to Ty feud a bit more too, because after they build that relationship and then they're actually like working with each other, that's great. That's awesome. I would have loved to see that in the show. That would have been great.
Yeah,
but I like that we get it here.
Man, as for me, I'm spending my night doing a different kind of research than usual. Whoa. Surfing through pages for evidence or clues that Marcy may have left. Ooh.
Yep, and then
Huh,
we
creating
get
her. So weird. Oh,
we get 103,
updates.
which
It
is
goes. Oh, you want to go to the next one? Okay.
oh no, you keep going, Nick. What did you want to say
No,
with
it was just the little drawing where pissed off.
that's
My
funny.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro fumbled the bag. But yeah, of course, I was wondering, wait, how are they gonna do Olivia Dean? I was like, how are they gonna do this? But then I guess it's not. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, coincidentally, the same night it happened, she can't sleep. My
Yeah,
God, poor
okay, so
students.
this part of I think this was probably the most talked about page in the journal.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like, yeah, I might be wrong. I get the vibe that it is though. Because like here not only like do we get Anne's thoughts on Marcy and how she, which I feel like this is in the show, but like I think it should have been more emphasized to be honest. Like Anne isn't exactly sure if Marcy's alive when like she's trying to not think about it. She's trying to ignore it. She's not sure if she's like illusional or not, but she's praying to God that she's okay. And like then we get like Anne's whole because we got Anne and Marcy's first like um meeting with Sasha, but we never got that with Marcy with Anne. And now we finally get that here with the whole beach scene, which is like super cute with
Yeah.
Anne helping Marcy out with like stopping the waves hitting the sandcastle they built. That was great. This whole thing's great.
And this whole tidbit's super nice. I mean, yeah, I mean that's do they show the scene? Let me check. Oh, okay, never mind. Just oof, huge and paragraphs.
Yeah.
A
Again, Anne
blueprint.
writes way more than Marcy.
Yeah,
Like,
my God. She she just keeps going. What the? Wow. Marcy was much. Wow. Yeah, I guess Marcy really was a genius. Let's see.
yeah.
Wow, an entire blueprint of a scaled model of a castle from her favorite video game, and she's only 3 years old. My God, I don't think I understood a word you said to me, but your passion and intensity for this game and the sandcastle that's on her was so clear. Wow, man, that's still crazy. It's like Marcy and Anne just knew each other before. Well, okay, I guess.
Well, we kind of knew.
Yeah, no, I was wondering because I guess I was going to say like they knew each other for like a long time, but I guess it's more like maybe it was about like a year because I know like they said Sasha's parents got divorced when they were 4, when she was 4 or something, and like that's when I guess she came over, but I don't know, I can't remember.
I think like I don't know because they say they're 3 here, so it's like Anne doesn't fully remember the memory, but like
Yeah,
Anne has been a part of Marcy and Anne have been a part of each other's lives for like a long time. You know, like their families know each other, they know each other so well. So yeah, I think
oh my God,
I
the
was
email stuff.
oh
Like she's like, oh sorry, I was gonna say like, oh Marcy, why did you keep your paint so hidden? Like, what is it, man?
I don't. You know what? I think like I was gonna mention before that point. I do like how this parallels her relationship, her meetup with Marcy in Marcy at the Gate. They both meet each other at a seaside near a castle. Like that's great. I like that connection there, paralleling that. So
Oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Wow.
yeah, there's a whole thing like I know the fandom connected that thought really well. So
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
but what's the word? Yeah, the keep your pain so hidden. I like that line though. I like
Why did you keep your pain so hidden?
I like it because like here and like what I liked what Matt and Adam did here was they made it so then Anne doesn't forgive Marcy, but it's setting that up. She's
Yeah.
thinking about it. She's like, why did Marcy like not tell me how she was feeling? Like, why does she not feel like I wouldn't listen? Like, did I hurt her feelings? What was going on? she doesn't answer the question in the journal. Like because she kind of answers it a little bit of how she's gonna forgive them through Hot Pop, how she's gonna forgive the girls, like how she forgave Hot Pop. But I like how this is a lot more like you can tell Anne is thinking about Marcy. Like she's trying to figure out what happened that day and why would Marcy like agree to a plan, Andrews's plan in the first place. You know, it just sets the seed. It doesn't have her figure it out. It just puts that wheel in motion. And I always think like when Sasha mentions War of the Warlocks, everything clicked in Anne's head to figure out like why Marcy would go to such an extreme, you know? So I like that. It's good characterization to add that detail.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. That's a really interesting thought. Yeah, I think I'm probably saying for the millionth time, but it's like, yeah, I think it's just one of the nice little things the journal does. Adds those extra punches that sort of just make everything feel nicer when you think about it as a whole.
Yeah.
Right then. And now we can move on to entry 104 of Peak Fiction, the best 3A episode of all time.
Hollywood Hop.
Hollywood Hop. Let's see.
Which I don't think the journal.
Was there anything else? Anything new here?
No, like.
I guess there was to say what?
Crazy.
Like does Anne mention that she predicted it? Like, what would she say here?
It's pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah. Found a gray hair. Wonder why? Wow. Oof. How stressed she was. She found a gray hair. My God. Oh my God.
So yeah, like nothing too crazy. I can't think of anything. Yeah, like nothing much here. So I'll just go to the next entry.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
105.
105.
Which. So like this is interesting. So Terry, when they were first revealed, like in the 3A intro, I know a lot of fans were thinking, I know some fans were thinking maybe Terry would be non-binary, and in the show, this is never confirmed or denied ever. Like, there's never like I don't think Anne was ever gonna say out loud like Terry like isn't non-binary. You know, I don't think Anne would do that. But
I had no clues. That was like a fan theory. I didn't even know.
It was the thing. I remember it wasn't like a crazy big thing, but like I knew a lot of people. I saw a lot of headcanons or just like in general, like people thinking Terry might have been non-binary when they were first revealed. But then like here they just made it official. Like, yeah, like Anne refers to Terry by they and them. There's no she or he. It's them. So I like that. I like.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, like
Wow,
it's easy to not notice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're a lovely person named Terry. Yeah, like Terry goes by they and them. So it's a nice addition. I like
does
that.
she say it? Wait, did she say in the journal?
She doesn't say
in the journal. Oh, okay, never mind. But that's crazy. I didn't even know. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that addition.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, there you go. Yeah,
it's a small thing.
Gotta clap her hands for Amphibia for doing that. I like that.
Yeah, because it's a small thing. I feel like that. I remember the fandom talking about that could easily be forgotten through time. You know what I mean? Like, because I think Anne does refer to Terry as she in the episode. You know, but I like that extra addition to.
Yeah.
I like them just confirming it. That's a nice addition. I like that.
Yeah. Super sweet enough. See. Yes, man. Yeah, no, this is It just like the journal just at the same time. It just feels like it was confirming all our thoughts. Just the idea of like us getting closer and closer to the portal, because now she's saying like, what does it say here? Now it's real, and Amphibia feels like something I can see on the horizon. If Marcy and Sasha in reach, I trust Terry, who is mega smart. I think Marcy would like them. And I trust the feeling in my heart that we finally have a shot. It's like all that. I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to not feel like I was crazy for believing.
And then this is the Kayasov page, which is like no, Matt talked about he wanted a lot of some of some Thai recipes in the journal.
Yeah,
Honestly, I wish there were more.
Oh
Like
wow.
I made this, by the way. It's really good.
Oh
I didn't
shoot.
use the what's called the Maggi like sauce and stuff, but I use soy sauce instead for the ground beef. It's good.
Oh
I
wow.
actually like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
use it
actually, yeah.
for I use the way they use the ground beef for like my other omelets and stuff. So yeah, this was I wish we got more, to be honest.
Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Wow. Yeah, mint on this looks great. Honestly, I am going to pin this page. I'm gonna make this. I'll make this sometime in the future. Honestly, it looks really good. Beef
Yeah,
stuffed
like
with fried eggs. I'm like, oh, who? Oh, sorry. I just went to the next page. I'm like blown away by all the visuals. But you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say because the catch up with like the ground beef too adds a lot. It's
Yeah.
very good. Very good.
Yeah. And the froggy little Christmas page.
I love the red and
Yeah.
green. It's awesome.
All the drawings. Man. So close, nothing.
So
They drop a little hope in their mailbox for the holidays. Now that I have some hope, I knew it. Oh my! It's like one of those things where it's like, I was saying this, I was preaching it, I was saying it for so long, and it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I can really understand why they added in all those details, but I guess it's like just to clarify everything they were intending. But it's like, I don't know.
yeah, I think
It's weird because nothing feels new. I guess nothing really feels new to me overall. I like all this stuff, but it's like it sometimes it just feels like it's like, yeah, I understood that. I knew that.
yeah, that's how I felt about kind of Anne's journal entries in general. I think I'll save that to the end. I don't even know
Yeah.
if we'll make it to like because we've been going super long. I'm like, are we gonna make it like
Yeah, we're spending like 10 minutes on each page. Like
yeah, like, I was expecting that, but
yeah.
we'll keep going. Yeah, I do like that extra context. I think like the idea that having Anne and Sasha have been a part of Marcy. Wait, fuck. Sasha and Marcy have been part of Anne's mind for a while. I mixed up their names. Like adds a lot to to her wanting to give the letters to the Woos and the Waverites. Like it's a small thing, but it makes it more clear like what the writers are trying to do with it. So yeah.
Yeah. I think. Oh, I guess she named this. I guess we got the name drop of the street performer Becca Salt. Wow, Becca Salt.
That was
Wow.
yeah.
What Becca Salt. Wow. I don't
Yeah,
know what to say about that. It's just like cool.
it feels
Becca
like
like they.
yeah, like you know what the Rebecca Sugar,
Yeah.
yada, yeah.
Becca Salt.
Becca Salt.
I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say. It's like that was something. That was something. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess the next page is sort of like the one about Andreas.
Yeah, this is kind of like a mix between the FLX and Escape to Amphibia. It's weird they're together because like what happened to Escape to Amphibia? Like it got like screwed over by like Disney, where like it came out
Yeah,
at
oh
the
my
start of
god.
3B,
Yeah.
and
My
then like
god.
everyone forgot about it. Like
Yeah.
so like
My
so
god.
now like putting them together feels so like whenever I have to do a rewatch of the show, which is haven't done in a long time, like I feel like it's gonna feel like how the journal is, where like FLX and Escape are connected a lot closer together because they are in an episode. Like when because Mr. Boonchoy does turn off on the radio, like when they're coming back from the parade, like there's a talk about like authorities cleaning up debris and stuff and blah blah blah. So like we know that like Mr. X knows this stuff is going on. So it sets up Escape to Amphibia where we see like what's the word, like him being more active or having more resources to capture the and the planters. Like it's becoming more obvious now with the whole like um fight at fight at the parade, you know. But like
Yeah,
again, with Escape to Amphibia being kind of not lost, but definitely like in a limbo phase. I think the fandom, just specifically the fandom that were watching the show at the time, sort of forget about Escape to Amphibia, and that's can be really frustrating at times in terms of critique of that. But
yeah.
whatever.
There's just
But
I
yeah,
feel like yeah, I feel like Amphibia just got so unlucky in like so many different areas along its run. Like because yeah, really just it hurt it sucks to say, but yeah, just really how a show is aired itself is just going to affect the reception. Like it's like
yeah.
I'd love for us just to be able to watch it, but like it's isolated from like all other factors. But like yeah, no, literally, just because 3B had to start with Escape to Amphibia, people just like
This episode just
yeah,
zipped out of people's head.
yeah,
Which
yeah,
I like. I kind of get it because like we were about to get like 3B, and it's like Escape to Amphibia was kind of like a hurdle to just get there. It was a good, honestly. I still think Escape to Amphibia was still a good episode. It was just
yeah.
like,
Still a great episode. I mean, I love that Star Wars sequence. I mean, and I don't even like Star Wars that much, and I still love that reference. Like,
yeah, um, yeah, nothing too much. Like,
yeah, nothing to do.
yeah,
Oh, I guess we do. I
uh,
guess we did get that sweet, sort of. Oh no! Holy crap! Yeah, wow. Yeah, there's. Oh wow. There's so
Escape
much
to Amphibia
escape.
is
So like,
long.
yeah, there's like
It's
so many more. Yeah, I
long.
know. It's like, holy. Every time I thought like, okay, it's over, she just keeps going. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, yeah, I guess Mr. X, stealing the planters.
Yeah, like
Um,
just sort of works with Ant's arc
oof.
with
Yeah, honestly, yeah, her just falling apart. Yeah, I missed. Yeah,
yeah,
like,
like nothing like we haven't seen before. Like again, Escape to Amphibia is a climax of Anne's arc throughout 3A, and it's a
yeah,
nice way for her to be prepared to leave the Planters at the end of the show. So like
yeah,
it, yeah, I won't go too much into it, but like yeah, it's pretty much the same stuff. Like oh man, I feel like I have this. I think Thumb is making a good point about this being a solid critique of it because I feel like if you already know this story, it's like you already kind
yeah.
of know. Like, yeah, I'll save it. I'll save it.
Yeah. It's like I was like, yeah. I'm like, no, you're watching. You're just like, yeah. I figured. Like you're just like,
Yeah, like
yeah, yeah. I predicted this like a year ago. It's like, I don't know. I don't know.
I still think it's
I guess
a good entry. Like, I don't think it's like bad. I just like
it's just. I feel like it's just for it's. I don't know because I guess if you're like a super avid fan who just spends honestly spends more, who spends like a lot of time thinking about the show. I guess it's like one of those things where you're just like, yeah, like you just think about like over a year ago, come to the conclusion on your own. And here I feel like this is just really for like I don't want to say casual because I hate going like oh you know what I mean.
ooh,
I hate sounding like
I
a huge
wouldn't
nerd or something, but like I don't know. I don't think it's okay. Maybe not for the casuals, but it's like it's
I wouldn't
I don't
okay,
know.
I wouldn't say it's for casual fans. I feel like there is I do think like what's the word? I don't think it's a bad thing if someone figures out this stuff only by reading the journal and not the show. Like you would like what's the word? I feel like you could yeah, I feel like you could still like if you figured this out just by reading the journal, I think that's fine. Like I don't think you're like you don't you know less about the show if you figure it
Yeah,
out through there. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just more like I like personally for me, I know Anne's arc in this season. I know what her climax is of this arc. I know what she's going through, and I can kind of figure out what's going through Anne's head. You know, so like I'm not saying the journal doesn't add anything new if you understood the show. I still think it does. I think it still cleans up things, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it casual, but I would say that Matt and Adam noticed criticism and dealt with it in a good way. people who did have that problem, which I did too, with how Anne mentioned Sasha and Marcy. I think it's emphasized a little too much in the journal, like, but
Ooh.
but like, but not too much, but like enough, So
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. It's it's like the journal. I don't know. I don't know how to summarize it. The journal is just the journal. I guess it's like I don't know. I'm enjoying all these pages, but I think they got thumbs criticism. I think it's critique. It definitely I just understand it more and more of each page. I'm like, I don't know. Each page I'm just like nodding, like yeah.
yeah. I think So we kind of go to like, because I was at entry like what,
I
109.
think
That felt like a
we're
whole
on
like
109 now. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel bad because we're skipping over so much for stuff. I guess there's like that nice. I guess that scene where they cheer her up will always be super nice. Let's see. They're
Because I
talking
feel
about
like
the chaos certain rooms.
I would go more into detail if we were on like the retrospective, but we're specifically on the journal specifically, so
Yeah,
it's a little different, Like I'm still gonna give takes on it, but
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Let's see. Try talking to me. You're trying to talk down to me, make me feel small. I can't believe I ever thought those were cool, and it's like her just the frowny faces make me laugh. Um, from the could it be the positive? What the shut up, and could it be the positive? Oh my god, could it be the? I can't. How do we even? I can't even read this page. Could it be that the positive feelings of encouragement and support from my family and friends had an effect on what the powers could do? It's, it's like
I mean,
yes. It's like
yeah.
yes, my god. Like I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like. I mean, we really went over it so many times, so we need to say it again. Yeah, she kicks her butt. Uses her uses her body as a conduit and channels the energy of the calamity gem for her hands. King Andreas said I was still connected to stone, and it's like the specific line. And I could feel myself borrowing its power even though it was in another world. It was all epic stuff, Joe. All epic stuff.
Yeah,
Aw.
I think like going to the next page,
No.
I really like that addition of like Anne feels
Man.
so happy that her parents are proud of her. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's a nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That last wave. I'll come back before. Oh man, we woke up on a cliff overlooking the path. Oh wow, overlooking the path to Utopia. But the landscape was utterly devastated. Smoldering ruins of villages, toxic lakes and rivers, and swarm of robots all working under the looming dark shadow of King Andrian's floating castle. What has he done to Amphibia and Wartwood? We need to get to Wartwood and make sure everybody's okay. All right.
so like okay, so going like to the next entry here,
Yeah. Oh
3B,
my God.
like yeah, but 3B
Sasha fucking Wayward.
isn't too
Yeah,
much, to be
3B.
honest. Yeah, like in
Oh my
terms of the
god.
journal
What is
entries
this?
anyway. I think we'll
What
go
is
more to the epilogue than 3B, to be honest, because a lot of it is kind of recap. Like
dude, why oh
um
my god, Commander Ann gets like 3 pages. My god. It just
does
keeps
it?
going. Yeah, I'm like
Oh.
looking, it's like wait, hold on. There's so many pages. My god. Like, let's see this. Wait, are we talking about 3? I don't even know what's going on. I know we're doing 3A. Are we talking about 3? Are we doing 3B?
Yeah, we're doing the whole thing.
3B? All
This is like the last part of the
right. I mean, okay. All right. What do we got here? Gave her a big freaking squeeze.
Yeah, this isn't too different from the show itself, to
Yeah.
be honest. Like Anne's like, oh my gosh, Marcy's alive, woohoo,
Woo, woo. I
Like,
knew it. Yeah.
and then
Knew
like
it, Joe.
I
I felt it
love
in my heart ever since that horrible moment in the throne room. Wow, that Marcy must be alive somehow, and she is. But after all these weeks of doubt and fear, oh my god, like it's like this shit. It's like this shit we've been saying. It's what we've been preaching from the corners. Like I don't know. Yeah, I guess Logo got jacked. Logo, bro.
I,
What?
I like how I like how Anne draws Sasha is so goofy because because Marcy
What
draws
is it?
Sasha with like a lot of detail and stuff in her
Yeah.
armor or whatever, and it's just she's got a goofy face and everything. It's great.
Yeah, gave her like that bird nose. My God.
Yeah, reminds me of like
Like
Diary of the
what?
Wimpy or something.
Yeah,
Like,
like what I swear like the quality in her drawings went down. Like, oops, the quality in her drawings went down. Like the happier she got. Like what is this?
but I think like she even forgets the glove, like the claw
Oh
glove. So
shoot.
it's just like
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, this is super sweet. Let's see. Oh my God, yeah. See, Commander Ann just keeps going. Sasha wants me to be the commander of the Resistance, but I don't know. Amphibia's changed so much as the planets and I went missing. Let's see
Yeah,
anything
and
else?
again, not too different, but I do like with this entry, like Anne is sort of like so one of the things negative connections I like the journal brings that I noticed with 3B because in 3A, like Anne's parents have to sort of recognize that Anne has grown as a person, that she's
Yeah,
developed, she's changed. I like that it was kind of a reversal in 3B. Now Anne has to accept that Sasha has grown as a person and she's changed. And what does that mean? And when Sasha messes up, usually Anne is thinking, oh my gosh, like you haven't changed at all. You're the same exact person,
mm-hmm.
blah, 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 yada, yada. Right. So I like them like, yeah, because my parents said I felt like a new Anne to them. Well, this feels like a new Sasha to me, and I like it. I like that connecting that narrative thought. That's cool. That's yeah. Again,
Yeah,
like in the show, but I love them putting a highlight to it. That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. Let's see. Dang, I was gonna say, yeah, I want my, like, I'm definitely one of those people that just sort of missed that just sort of just missed the helmet. It's like, it's funny because yeah, it definitely feels like one of those. Yeah, it definitely feels like just us, just like a narrative device just built for that one episode. And I don't know, it's just funny how like when we get the helmet, we all think it's gonna be part of her design, but then like the very next episode is like, no, she has like a tiara instead. It's like, like it's just funny looking back. She was wearing a tiara for like for all three. Like, what was with that? Like she was wearing like a tiara, man. Like she looked like a freaking warrior princess. Like
I always thought that was because like the idea is that Sasha is leading with Anne, so there's no need for a helmet
yeah,
specifically. Like it's they're both leading equally. So like you they can't make another helmet, I think, right? That's like a helmet
yeah,
specifically for Wartwood. Even though it's weird, I don't know how the helmet's able to fit Sasha's head, like because it's made for frogs, right? So, but whatever, like,
who knows?
but like yeah, I do like when we get to the next entry though a bit. This is something that I think Spivey handled a little better, sort of establishing the resistance than Commander Ann, because Commander Ann can kind of like hurry the hell up in the first like minutes of the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
like that's where always Spivey came in to save it for me because that episode is slower pace. It chills out and it kind of gives us a chance to understand how the resistance works beyond Anne and Sasha's drama and stuff. So like
Yeah,
that was always great. And I like this edition here of like we get to see everyone's roles of like
yeah. The catch up. Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Wally doing military jingles or
Military
Toadstool being in charge of
pep
rationing
rally chants. Yeah.
supplies.
I can't.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I like
it's like
that.
that's. I can't believe this guy's so trustworthy now. He goes like, only yesterday I was ripping everyone off. Yes, that's growth. Resident apothecary runs to med bay and comes up with potions and ointments. Lago runs a workout. Yeah, of course he runs the workout class. Yeah, he would. Wow. Well, his seminar of pros and cons of bladed weapons, a double-edged sword. Wow. Croker. I guess there it is. Mrs. Croker, head of assassination at Intel Gathering. I guess because we're past makes sense. It's just funny to me. It's like if you miss, like I think Film said this and it was like hilarious to me because it's like this is funny because if you miss like cracking Mrs. Croker, it's like it's like you're just wondering it through. You're just like you're just wondering like, bro, what qualifications does she have to lead a whole army? Like she leads a freaking charge. Like she leads the charge at the beginning and the end, and it's like you wouldn't understand why if you just never saw that episode. Like
I
just
feel
that
like
single episode in season 1.
yeah, I feel like I don't remember anyone saying anything about that like in beginning of the end. Like, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the fans talk about the frogs in general. So, but like, well, I didn't even try to make a dig. I was just true. Like, so like, I don't remember anyone really mentioning against it or for it. You know,
Yeah.
even though like Mrs. Croker, like, are we gonna let the past steal our future line is so
Yeah, such a
good.
badass line. Yeah,
Yeah. And
crazy.
then I like the the Sylvia hop hop. That's TMI stuff. That was funny.
And like, yeah,
Um,
gross. She like was that how was that? Please tell me that's not like like an exact drawing of what it looked like. My God,
I
nothing's
mean,
wrong
I
with
don't
seeing
think
this
Ian
above
wanted to
it.
see that.
And oh my God. Oh, then I spent the evening rereading Bessie's driving manual of her. Man, see that's yeah, I love how everyone just kept on wondering. It was like, where's the Bessie screen time? Is that because it really just felt like we didn't get any Bessie screen time like when we
For
got back.
real, like,
Like Bessie was just
yeah,
somewhere.
like
Yeah.
she was in like Sprivey for like one part, and then that's it. You know, like she doesn't get anything in season
Yeah.
3. So then they got entry 113, which is like Sasha's Angels, and it focuses mainly on
Ooh,
the part with Anne and
Angel.
Sasha arguing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and
Yeah,
this is an interesting recontextualization of Anne's like anger towards Sasha, like because in how I always viewed it, Sasha's Angels was like Anne is frustrated at Sasha not only because she doesn't trust her, but also because like she's the whole time on Earth, she's been like leading the planters and sort of taking care of them and saving them all the time. It makes sense that Anne herself, as a leader and in the same position as Sasha, wants to immediately go save them. She did that to the planters and escaped to Amphibia, right? It's not like she
yeah.
waited for the planters to get themselves out of there, like no, So it always made sense. But here they're sort of like portraying it as more like Anne is really impatient, like with how long it took them to get to Amphibia, and how Marcy is like been stuck with Andreas for like forever. You know, it they more make it her impatience of her not making progress and less about her leadership style, which I don't mind that recontextualization, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, it's. Hmm. But yeah, I do like the Mars dimension. I do like. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it just feels.
If it was what, Nick, I think you cut off
I don't
there.
know. I mean, I know it's just because I stopped myself. I don't know. I just don't really know say because it's like the extra.
I
I guess I'm like, yeah, the extra details are cool. I'm just like I'm just like, they're nice. I don't know.
I like it though. I think I would have liked this scene in the show because I think what it does is it puts Marcy's it lets us know that Sasha has Marcy in mind. You know what I mean? Because in Turning Point, it's obviously Sasha cares about Marcy and wants to save her, but like we don't know Sasha's like full thoughts on Marcy in Turning Point, which I always thought was fine. That made sense to me. Like, and I think it worked out in the finale. That she's more sorry about how she
Hmm.
treated Anne and how she bullied her for her whole life, but she's not thinking about Marcy. That made sense to me because the beginning of the end uses that really well. So, but I like this. I like that I don't know how I feel about adding it to the end of Sasha's Angels, like randomly, like writing wise. You know, like I would like if this was mentioned like in Commander Anne, if Commander Anne was like
Yeah.
a longer episode, but like I like I like that we get to see Sasha as like when Anne is not afraid to mention Marcy. She will explicitly talk about her now, right? And which is really different from how 3A handled it, where she wasn't super sure of talking about her. Like she is really ready to save her, stop all this stuff from happening, and she's willing to talk about her. And Sasha is like, nah, I don't want to touch that subject. That's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
which also adds to the beginning of the end, because then Sasha's like, nah, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. We have to talk about Marcy. I think having this scene would have helped a lot. So not like fixed anything, but added it, you know. It puts Marcy in Anne and Sasha's head, and we know she's in their head, you know, just more so. I think that was already in Commander Anne with like Sasha immediately tells Anne, Marcy's alive, Marcy's okay, you know. So I don't know. It adds to it. I like that. I like that detail.
Yeah. It is interesting. It is interesting. I think. Yeah. I mean, I guess it does satisfy like another thing a lot of people are just curious about involving yeah, basically everything you just said. Like I have nothing new to add on. I mean, you basically hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Then
Entry
entry
114.
1, yeah, which this is like her whole thing with
Got
the
the
almond and stuff.
lore. Yeah, all the lore stuff.
Yeah. This is something I didn't mention in Friday at the Museum, but this is I think the journal adds a lot to this. One of the things I liked about Anne in season 3 was sort of how she was a lot more. She took a lot more like she was a what's the word like she was asking a lot more questions. Not only does the character have more agency, but like you see Anne like start to question the lore and world of Amphibia more. One of like the cool things about like sleepover than their sleepovers, if you'll notice, is that like Anne isn't even like questioning like anything that was happening. Like, why is there a garden in the king's basement? Why are there aliens there? Like, why are there like ghosts? Why are there dead coffins? Like, why is all this here? But Marcy's the one asking those questions. She's the one kind of questioning the lore and idea of the show, and she's the one taking the agency to find more about it, right? She does some more
Yeah.
research on the box and other stuff. But now you see Anne take that more active role where she's asking questions. She's wondering where everything is, how all the lore fits in, who's the pink frog, who's Valeriana, how does everything connect to each other. I love Anne taking that more active agency role in the story. And I like this is sort of adding to it, where she's wondering what's with the music box, what are the stones, what's Valeriana about, what are the temples, why do they exist, what's their purpose. I like that. That's a very big character shift from Anne, who would just not give a crap about anything and wait for people to tell her what to
Yeah.
do, to now taking that
Oh, man.
initiative to ask questions, take more agency, take control of the situation, and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but it's a big deal.
Yeah, no, yeah, got it. Yeah, that's a really good breakdown of her because honestly, God, even in season two, like yeah, a lot of the adventures, it's just her. Like even like yeah, you mentioned sleepover, sleepovers. It's like it's really just Anne letting. Yeah, honestly, it's just Anne sort of getting dragged along like the previous status quo of Sasha. And I mean, just how they go on those challenges to like, also just how they like let Sasha rope them into those challenges. Like they're just going along for whatever she wanted, and like I don't know. I think that's like a very interesting observation you just made here. I didn't even think about that. It's like
Yeah, and I think.
the journal's definitely. Go ahead.
Oh no, you keep going, Nick. I was gonna.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is just like a really great representation of her growth compared to those first few seasons. I mean, my God, yeah, it really captures that just that her agency that she started practicing.
Yeah, and I think like Marcy, like as a character, like also kind of like what's the word? Because that's the cool thing about having Marcy around in season 2, right? Because it lets Anne kind of be at this middle point in her arc where she's not stagnant, but she's not moving forward either. But like she's not stagnant, but she's letting Marcy be the one to ask questions. Like Anne never thinks about like, oh my god, there was a robot factory in Amphibia. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That never goes through her head. But as soon as Marcy sees as a robot in Amphibia, she's asking a bunch of questions. She's studying Frobo. She's trying to figure it out. How does this connect to the overall lore of the entire thing? Like, again, like that also adds to like Marcy. She had all the tools to figure out everything in the show. But I love that we have Anne now asking questions, now trying to figure out everything. She's she's being a more active character. And it's a shift I don't see people talk about, especially like in fanfics too, with Anne's character, where like that more active, introspective, thinking version of Anne is sometimes lost in those narratives as well. A lot. It's a lot of just the empathetic season 2 Anne. I sometimes think the season 3 version of the character can be lost at times. So
Yeah.
yeah, especially in
No,
fandom
yeah.
conversation. That's a big thing too. So
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, yeah. I think I just really now I'm like, I don't know. I'm just appreciating 3 and a lot more of all this talk. I mean, it's I think it's I don't know. I had to put in my head, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just really enjoying it.
I gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
And then
Oh,
like
entry 115. Oh, everyone's favorite
favorite
episode.
episode with the
Oh,
woo. Yeah.
we managed to gain access to the hidden home city of Pro. Wait a minute. What happened to the wait, what happened to like wasn't there an episode right before Mother Roams? Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Hometown Road.
I guess it's basically it. Like Hometown Rome is supposed to be at. I guess this is it. Entry 14, entry 114. Okay, I mean that's fine. I'm not
Well,
having
no.
that.
It's there. It's combined with 115. If you look at the end, like Anne
Oh,
talks
oh,
about
oh.
Sasha. Yeah, like
My
it's
bad,
there.
my
It's
bad,
there.
my bad. Now let's see. Just read a prophecy to us, which I will write down below. Yeah, there it is. I mean, that's I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's fine. Yeah,
Choice
I
was
mean, that was just pretty
important.
sweet. Sasha's been so impressive. My God, you should have seen her chew out Parisia.
Provicia, yeah.
It's like she's truly. You remember there was like that really funny fan art of like a Sasha Chihuahua doodle.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice those.
Oh, what the heck? Was that Sasha?
I didn't even it like. Oh, I didn't even notice it was Sasha. To be
Yeah.
honest, it's the
Wow.
Sasha Chihuahua.
Yeah, you thought Anne just like drew some like weird little
Yeah,
monster
like
thing.
I mean, she drew the weird nose thing, so like I
Yeah.
don't know. I
Yeah,
wasn't
I mean,
paying
yeah,
attention to it.
Anne's a bit of a weirdo in a way. Yeah, Anne's weird. So good. The props. So it's pretty cool. The props he made into the journal. So that shoes that our choice is important to the prophecies that by Valiana didn't stop me from charging the stone. Huh. I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like did they are I don't know. Are they I don't know. I'll just look at this with like a Watsonian perspective. I think that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. That's pretty. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Did we ever get a complete explanation for how all this stuff just comes together? Because I don't we have like the temples, we have the gems, we have the prophecy. It's like just how they're interacting with the temples. I mean, like what like why did the temples take away their powers? I mean, like what?
Well,
Why?
like okay, so like because you gotta remember the Andrea's prophecy too, like in All In, right? Where like
Yeah.
the temples were there as like a way for the girls to get a cheap way to like get out of Amphibia. Like it was like, okay, you don't want to like actually do the journey. Well, here you go. Like you don't have to do it. It was always an option. I guess the temple quest was always to see if they gave it to the right people, you know? So or maybe it was designed so then this was like a after their journey too, like once they're finished, like like they can just go and do the temples and then bada bing. So
Yeah,
I always assume that
I just need to rewatch the show.
yeah.
I'm rusty. I'm off the game.
Then you got
116. What do we got? Entry 116. What the
116,
heck? Oh,
which is
wow,
just
they got a
trash
buff
people.
sprig. What? Are you serious? They had a self-care day. What? Just
Yeah,
Sprig
I
was
like that. That was
fighting.
funny.
Sprig was fighting for his life, and they had a freaking spa day. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
Sprig
I don't
was
blame.
hustling.
I kind of don't blame them because like, what are Anne and Sasha supposed to do? Like, they made Brian and Sprig go like
Wow.
work out for a while, so like
Wow.
they can't really do anything, you know.
Right. Sprig was hustling, dude. Dude trained him. He had like they had like a day. Like, yeah, they had a day to train Sprig to go fight one of the strongest warriors in like the whole world, and like they were chilling.
I
My
love
God.
that, like, because Sasha goes like when she reuses the song like from like her cheerleading song, and she goes like the hop hop, like I'm very busy, like she didn't have time to change it, but like
Yeah, my
she
God.
literally
Yeah,
went on a
according to the
spa
journal.
day.
Yeah, yeah. According to the journal, she did have time.
I love that. That's a nice extra
Wow, she
addition.
was
That's
just
funny.
lying. My God. Update: Sprig won. He beat Beatrix. Yep, and the Toads are recruited. I didn't think I've ever yelled harder in my life. What a cage match! What a win! Looks like Sprig and Grime are buds now. Yeah, and you know how it is. Proud of everyone's growth. Gone. TBH, just from TBH. I mean, frogs and toads fighting together. I suppose during the apocalypse, anything's possible. Yeah, I mean, there it is. It's pretty
Then
sweet. Just drew like a
117
Jack
is
Sprig. See,
yeah.
117. Oh, Pop
Isn't
the Carry
anything?
Gary. Yeah, me and
Yeah,
Thomas,
this
biggest dub. It's our biggest dub of the fan, and we called it. That's right, the creepy mushroom guy who my God, yeah, even the hot pot. Like, imagine. I always wondered, like, imagine if Anne just told her parents what Hop Pop did in that episode. He probably would have been like, he would have been thrown out. Like, he would have just been thrown out of the house. Like, no question. My God. Let's see.
I'd like to think that Anne's parents would kind of get it. To some degree, like how annoying Anne was. Like I think they would be like, "That was wrong, but I understand." Like, but yeah, like nothing crazy about like I do like the bottom tier supervillain like line. That was funny.
Yeah, bottom. Yeah, Jesus. He really
But
just dragged his name through the dirt.
And then you got like, I
This
think
guy,
like a lot of
but
these
this is so mean though. This bottom tier supervillain. My God, Ann. Yeah, I gotta get. Wow, I guess you never did warm up to Jeremy. That's fine though. But yeah, are we just okay with that? Just okay with him? Yeah, like what was we had no one ever questioned him. This.
yeah, and then 118 is like coordinating pretty much, and this one's fun because I think in the all-in fight you kind of get an idea that Anne is like sort of figuring out Andreas's like whole backstory, you know, like which I think made a lot of sense in All In. I've heard this critiqued, like how does Anne know all this, or like blah 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 blah. But like it made perfect sense to me because like Anne had all the tools to figure it out. She knew that Anne got not Anne. She knew that Andreas got betrayed by one of his friends, and then she sees the pink frog, and she's sort of been recognizing both of the characters are recognizing their own similarities in the fight itself. So like they're getting to know each other as they're fighting. So like and they've been thinking about each other for a while, you know, like how Andreas is like he was always pondering like why is Anne the one with the blue gem? Like what? She's like a nobody. But then like in the all-in fight before they're about to go in during that conflict, like you see he figures it out. He's been thinking about her, and I like that extra addition of like, well, not extra addition, but like you also see that Anne is thinking about him too, And I like this entry where we get to see more in the
Oh
details
man,
of that.
I just love that shit. I just love that shit of like foil characters because I feel like on its own it is fun to have characters who are just sort of like I don't want to. Well, I guess you can call them like parallels of each other and foils, but it's like I don't know. I always just found it interesting. Like yeah, I think it is pretty fun to have characters who are just foils on their own, but just when you just create that like sort of actual relationship between them and just see like what can you pull for them? What can you pull from like how they interact with each other, how they affect each other? Like I don't know, I just love that. I just love the fact that like ever since their showdown in True Colors, like the both of them have just been on each other's minds and there's just something about each other that just pisses that just pisses them off. You know what I mean? Like just something like they
I
just can't get each other out of their heads. Like I just love that idea about both of them.
Yeah, because the season first starts off with New Normal, where like Anne is very much like we gotta beat Andreas. But what's cool here is that Andreas is like, oh nah, we gotta kill Anne now,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
quick.
they were
Like
like
it's even like Andreas isn't really even thinking about Sasha that much. He sends like one robot after her, and then whatever. And Marcy's
yeah.
like kaput, so he doesn't have to think about her, you know. So I I I
Like
like that the
I just
two. Yeah, Nick, you go.
I was just gonna say, yeah, just so yeah, he just she like he looks down on her completely, but then she just like grows and grows as a threat. Like he just continuously embarrasses him, and he's just like you know what I mean? Like, this one shoot girl, like where the hell
I
did she
think
come from? It's like
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, because I think like we don't know Andreas's thoughts of Anne, like his true thoughts of Anne in season two, and I like that addition of Andreas's thoughts in All In of like that he was like when he first saw her, he's like, is she one of the what? She's like a like Marcy's smart, like he knows that, like, but Anne is like some goofy kid. Like, why is she here? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's a great thing with it. I like that Anne sort of connects that dot a bit and tells Sprig too. So Sprig is able to figure out that Leaf is Andreas's friend and whatnot. So that's cool to me. I think that's like this extra addition to that setup to that fight. So
Yeah, honestly, I just like how she just ends it. She's like, dude, I gotta tell Sprig about this. She's like, dude, I gotta tell Sprig about this. Like,
yeah, and then you have the Newts and Titans.
oh, Newton Tritonium, dang. Wow, okay. This greasy scallywag. It's up to his old tricks. See if there's anything there. I think we successfully. Tritonio, yeah, Tritonio mentioned hardly recognizing me as the same gullible, needy kid he met all those months ago. It's weird, but seeing all those familiar faces, it really made me realize how much there. I knew it was gonna be there. I knew it was gonna be there. How much my time at Amphibia has changed me, man.
Yeah, again, like there's a lot of like self reflection. Not
Yeah.
again, but there's a lot of self reflection off of Anne in 3B. It kind of reminds me of her season two arc, but in a slightly different way. So
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. No, it just reminded me of Thumb's joke about that. All the self-reflection in season two. But yeah. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a really great scene at the end. I feel like everything's just on point. Like the lines, the music, pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
I
going
guess
to
I guess.
like
Oh, go
oh,
ahead.
you go. Oh,
No,
I
I mean,
was
I
gonna
was,
go
I
to
was,
the
I was
next
gonna take.
entry.
I was gonna, yeah. So I was gonna do the same. Oh, thank God! It's like a page about that. Like, there's not that many words in this page. Thank God. Domino 2. That is all.
Yeah, I love this. I love it. It's not like something complex. Just like she gets her cat back. It's great.
Side note: I'm so grateful for Sprig Planter. I've never had someone in my life quite like him. My God, someone who makes me feel like I'm the best version of myself. Holy crap! Like, I guess. Oh man, I just remember. Yeah, this was like we. It was just funny how this. You remember what happened to this episode? Like, what was this episode called? It was like
Fight or flight.
Fight or
Yeah.
flight. And
like
not to get into the whole fan thing again, but I just remember the whole everyone was making theories about like everyone
it was gonna be a Darcy fight.
Yeah, everyone was like Darcy or Buzz. Everyone was like it's either it has to be Darcy. Or, no, everyone was like it's Darcy, but if it's not, it has to at least be Valiana, or I'm gonna fucking hate this episode.
I called it. I called it was gonna be Domino too.
Like I was like saying it was gonna be Soggy Joe just because we get this. I was just saying Soggy Joe because I literally went back to like the earlier episodes. I couldn't find Soggy Joe anywhere in 3B. But then he just appeared in like the first minute of like this episode. I was like, oh, there he is. But like, yeah, my God.
That was funny. Like,
yeah, it was hilarious. Like literally, just because like, what was it like description? It said like an old friend or something, and Anne goes on her own, and it's like the description made it sound like Anne was gonna go on like this sort of suicide mission to get like to save someone so important, and it was like everyone was like it's Marcy. Everyone was like it's Marcy. It's Marcy. But like, yeah, I don't know. This was hilarious. This was hilarious.
yeah. It's I would go a little more into it because I think there's a villain talk here about this, but I'll save it for retro.
Yeah, well,
I think
yeah.
It has nothing to do with the show. This is my thought on it anyway. But then we have entry 121, which is Anne's last.
What is 121? Ooh, here we go. Want to see this? Tomorrow, our allies will gather in Wartwood to plan our attack on Andrus. I wanted to take a little time to reflect on our revenge before it all goes down. Wow, I've never felt like this. Like I could do anything. It's all because I have such wonderful people who believe in me. I'm not the same man who got. Oh, this is so nice. The guy got president to take in that music box. I'm not the same man Boontroy who's irresponsible and selfish. I want to live for more than myself. I want to dedicate everything I have to protecting the ones I love. God damn. No, dude, this hurts. This hurts to read. Sprig, Hop Up, Polly. I love these three so much, and will forever treasure them, no matter what comes. Sasha, we've changed together. You and I both. Whenever changes await us, we will meet them with grace and courage. Marcy, we're going to save you and face the future holding your hand. If you truly have to move away, we will love you no matter what, and we'll always be together in our hearts. Wow.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Oh, like she just didn't she just didn't know. Like she just didn't know. God.
Yeah.
She just knows.
And not too much. And like, yo, we gotta save Marcy now. Like, yada yada. And then that's pretty much it. Like for wish us luck. And then like that's pretty much it for Anne's portion of the journal. Like we go to
got the whole
Marcy
squad
now. Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, Marcy's. Wow. Page with that. I'm scared of even touching it because this is like finale material, right? Like this is the hardest thing. Like that's when she takes over again, like the hardest thing, and like I'm scared. I don't want to relive those memories. Like I'm scared. This is like this should be like a content warning for me on this.
So before we get into the epilogue of the journal, I'm just going to give my overall thoughts on, I guess, this Anne portion of the book. And, like, I'm kind of, like, conflicted because, like, to me, this section, like, I haven't really learned, I haven't really gotten a lot of, like, new information from this portion. And, but at the same time, I like Anne kind of, like, giving these thoughts on the journal, so like I'm kind of torn, but like a lot of these entries are kind of like a play-by-play with a bit of like, a bit with like a bit more insight that like I kind of already kind of assumed, or like I don't say predicted, just like my takeaway from the show kind of lined up with what Anne was saying here in the journal, so it wasn't really like groundbreaking. the same way like maybe the first two portions of the journal were, because like Marcy's like she's like kind of like an outsider, like an outsider's perspective. So I think that was like kind of more appealing to me, like or more engaging for me. But like at the same time, like Anne's section, while not really as like while it's not as like new to me, it's kind of more like a manifesto that I'm just like reading. I'm like, yep, yeah, like I agree, like I like this. And so I guess that's the best way I can kind of describe my like overall thoughts on Anne's portion of the journal.
That's pretty fair, honestly. I mean, that was sort of my opinion of it too. As we were going along it was sort of me like, yeah, like I felt like I figured out majority of this stuff relatively like as the season was going on, you know? Like yeah, like I don't know. I felt like maybe the journal was like I don't know. It felt like it was adding details that I wish were in that are in the show that just sort of emphasizes them more, you know? And then that was about it. It doesn't really rewrite Anne's arc, which I like because I like Anne's arc in season 3. It just sort of like gives extra like details to stuff, which I like. So yeah, it I feel like I don't know. I felt like I agree with you, Dumb, that I didn't learn too much new stuff, but I also don't. I'm not mad that I didn't. So like having that full on and introspective thought process. So you know,
Yeah, like I think I'm just with you guys. It's I will say it was really fun and interesting getting these sort of like confirmations of what we speculated, what we thought, and just what we believed to be what was going on in the arc behind the scenes. But yeah, overall, I wasn't as like you know it. It didn't feel like there was a lot of new stuff. I'll admit. I think it didn't have like the same excitement with Marcy. Even if I didn't personally feel like it was necessary to see Marcy's section, I feel like it still was overall more exciting to go for that, just because it was all new stuff, new ideas that like kind of shifted our perspective on what was going on before we met her. And yeah, with Anne here, it's all interesting new context, but like overall, it's like I feel arrogant for saying it, but it's like like a lot of it is just me like nodding my head up and down, and saying like, yeah, I do that. Like it's just
I
I feel
would
arrogant, but I don't know.
I would say like I would disagree that this gave us like a lot of closure things. I felt like 3B gave me a lot of closure with Anne's arc, like, and not really the journal. Like, how does Anne think about Sasha and Marcy? We figure that out in 3B,
Yeah,
you know, like through her actions and what she says about Sasha and Marcy throughout that season. Like, where the parents at? Marcy has a line about that in All In, so like that we know they're still there. I think a lot of this stuff would have been nice as the show was airing, a lot of the little details in 3A, but since the journal came out after the show, it's like these are like just a way for Matt and Adam to kind of just add extra details fans may have not been sure about, but they were definitely there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I would yeah, I think we got everything I we needed for Anne's arc by 3B, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, it's just complicated. I don't know. I think I don't know.
And
Like I
like
mean, I still really enjoyed. Oh, go ahead.
no, you could go like continue, Nick.
No, I was just gonna say I think I still really enjoyed reading Anne's section because I mean, yeah, there's just tons of cute moments. You know, all the moments where she just like stopped writing just to go compliment Sprig for like half a page. Yeah, that was adorable. But like, Yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like this is just such a specific situation from Amphibia that I haven't really seen in other shows. Like it's just because it's so weird. It just feels like there really was an arc that was there. Like it always felt like there was an arc that was there. It was just like certain aspects we just wanted something said about, and then I guess the journal had that, and it's like I don't. Yeah, I feel like this section doesn't really. It didn't really improve my opinion or crush my opinion of like 3A. Like I feel like it just. I feel like that might be like. I don't know. Like how do you guys feel? Because I feel like this was just like. I guess this was sort of like complimentary. Yeah, I guess it's just like a complimentary thing towards 3A because I feel like this didn't really change anything for me to be like 100% honest. I wonder how you guys
I
feel
think
about that.
I think Anne's arc is pretty clear in 3A. I think it's. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like a lot of the. I think there are solid complaints on 3A, but I feel like the 3A controversy isn't really as a big a thing as I think as I think a lot of the fandom makes it out to be. Majority of people I know who watched that half of the season 3 in general, they don't even know what we're talking about. Like I see it as so many times where outside of Reddit or Twitter in these kind of bubbles of the same people, I feel like the problems with season 3 were only problems the fandom had. It's not like there weren't legit criticisms because I actually agree with a lot of them. It's just like they're kind of blown to proportion to a point where that's the only thing what people were talking about at the time. But again, like for in terms of Amphibia's legacy, I don't really think it was a big deal. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know where I was going with that.
Like, yeah, like
like
the journal doesn't really. I feel like people who like liked the season, like the direction of the season, the journal doesn't really like ruin that for you. Like it kind of just like, and it didn't really enhance the experience for me the same way it did for like maybe like season 2 for the journal, but like it kind of just reinforced what I believed in. But I can imagine like people who maybe didn't this feel okay. Like I don't want to like insult anyone's like comprehension skills, or how do I describe it? Like media like literacy, or like it's like
Media literacy.
yeah,
yeah.
it feels like this journal. It's like maybe if someone younger like someone younger like a much younger like such as like the target demographic of the show like picked up the book like after watching the show, and then they're reading this like, oh,
Yeah.
like I didn't think about this or that, and like that like then that I can see the journal like being like a very like positive kind of like addition to like I guess amphibia content in general, like but like someone like us, like people like us, we kind of like knee deep in all of this, like
Yeah. Just in too deep.
Yeah. I mean, like I personally, like, I mean, I did like that Adam and Matt were listening to the fandom a bit, though. Like, even if it was like, because Anne, like, they are very explicit to mention Sasha and Marcy in Anne's motivation, which, like, was a whole thing, like, with the fandom itself, of her not talking about them. So I mean, I would have liked that in the show as well, but not the same way the journal does it, if that makes sense. Like, I think I talked about it before, but like, I don't know. I feel like it does add stuff that matters to people who watch the show, even if they aren't younger. But like, I do get the vibe that like a lot of criticism of Anne's character is sometimes people not getting what her arc is at times. So but that might be a bit insulting. So I won't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why this just feels so hard to like talk about for some reason because it's like we're walking on eggshells. We're not trying to insult anyone, but I guess it's just I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
think shoot, man, I'm just out of words.
I mean,
Man.
this combo could also be like carried over into the epilogue stuff.
Like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. We'll probably just yeah. I guess we can just hold it off for that then.
Okay.
Because like this epilogue with like Marcy is like finding this journal like 10 years later, and like coincidentally, it's like she's about to like meet with Sasha and
Oh
Anne.
wait.
Wait,
Hold on.
what?
We didn't. We
Oh no, I think we're skipping over some stuff.
yeah, we didn't go to
Like,
entry
entry
122
122. Yeah,
when Marcy gets back the journal. That's where we
Oh,
ended up.
oh, okay.
yeah, that's where we
Yeah.
stopped.
Right. Okay. So before we get to that, um, yeah, this like Marcy kind of like covers like the hardest thing.
The hardest thing.
Yeah, the whole finale pretty much.
Yeah, like I think this is all kind of like recap for entry, like the first part of entry 122, but like you know, we get that really nice like illustration of like everyone just sleeping under the stars.
Yeah, I think like all right, so I really like this part quite a bit. So like I think what's the word? What do I start off with? So like one of the nice details I like with Marcy, how she talks about the finale is specifically about Anne. Like she calls her a hero. And one of the things like with season 2 and kind of what the journal emphasizes is that Marcy is sort of recognizing Anne's gifts as like a way to make it's a way so she can make an excuse for bringing Sasha and Anne to Amphibia, so she can sort of ignore that guilt of bringing them there in the first place. But here it feels like genuine. Marcy is truly and genuinely under seeing that Anne is like this super awesome person and a hero. So I love that. I think that's great. It's something that I think even the show could have had a little bit, but it's a great addition. Like to Marcy's character where because in the whole season everyone is recognizing that Anne is like the GOAT. You know, Andreas is, Sasha is, the planters already knew, so like eventually Mr. X learns that, her parents learn that. So it's cool that Marcy gets to recognize like she's the GOAT too. So yeah, I think that was great.
Yeah, 100%. Plus, yeah, I think there's just like a lot of her writing was very like flowy. Yeah, toward like yeah, in the beginning of the journal, like a lot of it's just really flowy. But now it's just like now we have actual paragraphs, which is more structured. Like there's less like self guessing. No, it was like second. Oh yeah, sorry, second guessing, right? Yeah, there's less of Marcia second guessing herself, just being. I don't know. It's nice. There's just like way more clarity. Like there's like she's not scratching out any words. She's underlining stuff. Like it's like, this is really it. Like you can really tell that she's changed at this point.
Yeah. Oh, also, like we got confirmation that I wasn't sure if Marcy and Sasha knew or anyone knew about the Guardian or God Domino. I don't know what we call that.
Godmino. I've been calling them Godmino myself. Godmino. It feels weird. It feels kind of hard to say Godmino.
I'm just gonna say God Domino.
God Domino. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think we knew that Sasha anyone else knew about it besides Anne's, but here we get confirmation of that, so that's nice.
Oh yeah. Also, I also did want to like sort of reply to the point you just made about everyone just sort of respecting him. So yeah, I think I think it all just ties back to why that scene with like that scene between Anne and the Guardian is just so good because it's like this whole series is yeah, half of it is Anne sort of like growing into a hero, but also the other half is just the people who've known her for years getting used to this new, version of her and learning to respect that. And like, all this hype builds up underneath Anne, making her seem like this goddess, this hero, this champion. Then like in the Guardian scene, I don't know, it's amazing because even I sort of fell for it. Even I was like, even I was like, Anne is incredible. She's a hero. She's a god. Like she's a champion. She's legendary. Like I was caught in that hype too. But then like in that scene, she just reminds the whole lot of everyone that she's just like a 13-year-old girl who's only gotten this far because she's made a million mistakes to learn from them. Like it's like I don't know. It just feels so nice because I feel like so many times in stories it makes you feel like I don't know. So many times in stories it makes you feel like a character's life peaked when they're like 15 and they just finished their hero's journal. But now no. But this is just a big reminder that like no, she's only 13 and she still has like 78 years of living, 78 years of living to continue, living your life. Like it's like I don't know. I thought it was like super nice that they did that. It's why I've always just like I don't know. It's weird. It's just like the payoff of that scene is why I've always just never really criticized Do Ex Machina. But that's like a whole different conversation. But it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I love that scene. I love that moment.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and I guess they say their goodbyes, and like it cuts immediately to like entry 123 is like them like just like arriving back on Earth and like apparently right on the other side like all the parents were there and yeah, like Marcy has like a couple of weeks in LA left. What else can I say?
Yeah, this is like opening up old wounds. My God, I've just been staring at the page. Sorry, like backtrack a little bit. I've just been staring at the page where they're just sleeping with like Bessie and
Joe.
Bessie and Joe. It's like this
Yeah.
hurts. This hurts to see. My God.
Yeah, and like oh, why'd you post that in the chat, Nick? It's it's such a nice like drawing. But like yeah, they're on Earth and I guess before like Marcy, Anne, and Sasha kind of like spend the summer kind of like hanging out, like having like yeah, like as much as they can before she goes. But in the page before that, they kind of address like everything that happened with the portal, like without the gems, like the portals like aren't even like they're not like the portals don't really respond the same way they were before, like in 3A, and it's assumed it's because without the gems there's like no connection at all
Yeah.
for them to operate.
Wait, like they literally can't turn it on, or
like it's mentioning like without the gems, like the portals won't even respond to like the same kind of like how like in Escape to Amphibia, like how they play the song,
and yeah,
like the musical notes, and then that's how like the portals kind of like form like a connection to Amphibia. Like in this case, like nothing was happening there.
okay,
And I think at the time, I think we all kind of assumed that like because I think the big thing was like, oh, okay, with the existence of the portal, it's like now there's like some sort of connection between Amphibia and Earth, regardless of the gems. But then the book kind of addressed like, no, that's not the case. It's like very like separate. Like
Like closed off. Man, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these pages are just tough to like look back on. I mean,
oh Nick, you go.
oh no, I was just gonna say that I'm also just looking at the pages of hanging out. Oh, are we Are we still talking about entry 124? Or are we
Yeah, if you
somebody
want.
just mentioned they're hanging out.
Like I kind of because I kind of went forward and then went back because like
Okay.
Marcy mentioned they had a couple of weeks, but then she started talking about the portal. So yeah, we can talk
Yeah.
about 124 a bit more if you.
Honestly, I'm not even sure. I guess it is. I guess honestly, I don't have much to say about 124 besides it just being like a sort of depressing confirmation of what we knew. Like,
Yeah.
I would.
oh man.
One thing that is cool though is so like the chest scar for Marcy has always been like a thing like in like fan art and stuff, along with like the scars she gets in All In. Like, well, obviously we can't see it in the show, so it's like, but I don't know. It's cool that they actually confirmed that the scar from the sword steps actually like it exists. You know, it's not like she got instantly healed. It's still there. It's just like I don't know. That's a neat detail. They didn't have to mention that, but like, yeah.
Yeah, it is very interesting because I think like yeah.
Yeah, the wonders of the Bacta tank.
Yeah, like I think my eyes brushed past that. Oh, wait, what did you say?
What?
No, yo, what did you say, Tom?
No, like like Star Wars, they have like the healing tank. Like
Oh, the healing tank. Healing tank. Yeah, I think this is crazy. I don't even know what to say. Like it is interesting because I wonder like it just makes me think like were these things they sort of you know what I mean? Were these like ideas and because like there's some stuff in like 125. I'm just gonna go for it. I think she also mentions how she's all started going to therapy to unpack. I guess to unpack the trauma she received during her time in Amphibia. But it's like it's it's interesting because I just wondered like I know like these are some of like the like I think where we are right now when it comes to what people want more from media they do want I don't know I think since mental health awareness that's gotten more and more prevalent now I think like yeah people do want sort of that reflected in their stories right and just the idea of like there being scars after trauma the idea of like this stuff existing and mattering I think it's like I don't know, it's just interesting to me because it makes me wonder like did when the crew came up with these ideas was it after the backlash sort of or was it like before did everybody have like the idea of Marcy
I
having a scar or like Marcy potentially having one I don't know it's like a question asked Matt during their whole book Q&A I don't know it's just like a thought that came in my head.
I feel like well, I mean like I assume the therapy I guess is for Amphibia, but it also could just be for Marcy in general, like with the problems she had with friendship with Anne and Sasha and yada yada, and her not expressing her feelings to others. Why does that cause that? So I don't think the therapy has to be just for Amphibia. You know what I mean? It could be like yeah, like it could be for like other things too. So and I wouldn't say that's like what's the word? Like I wouldn't say that therapy stuff is backlash. I'm pretty sure most people who said like these girls need therapy were like a joke. Like, it was like in a joke material. It wasn't like for real, like but I do
Oh
legitimately like it. Like it's a very they do it very like I don't know, I like the way they handled it. I hope if Marcy got therapy, I hope all the girls get therapy. You know what I mean? So but it's nice to get confirmation of that.
yeah it's honestly because I'm just surprised I just know like people I just remember people saying like if I just I don't know maybe I just pay too close attention but I just remember there are just like times where maybe we're just talking too much of the fan of I'll just let it go I won't say it. But I guess just to keep us going yeah I think this is just like a very good page in general I think like it is right like yeah this is sort of based off the material they touched in the beginning and the end right I do what I do like what I do like about this page is how it's sort of like in the middle of the road, right? Like it doesn't. I know back when the beginning and end aired, I think me and Thumb we aired like we had some hot takes. We were like we were
Yeah.
like we I remember we were like we don't. What were we saying? I think we said we didn't we felt like it was on Marcy's side a little too much. It felt like it felt like too Marcy biased to I don't I think
Okay,
I don't
let
remember what we said
me
specifically.
defend
Okay,
myself
go
as
ahead,
well.
go
Like
ahead.
it's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I gotta know what y'all mean by
so
this.
basically like after beginning of the end where it's like oh Anne and Sasha didn't really engage in the activities that Marcy liked. And it's like and the show was like, oh, Anne's like, oh, we didn't really pay attention to like Marcy's needs.
Yeah.
And
Her
it's like
needs.
but like
It was
Anne was like out there trying to like keep Marcy alive. Like
yeah.
back in her so it's like she was paying attention to her. It's just like
I feel like that's a little different though, because
yeah,
like
that's just like I know that's like I guess like immediate needs and like this is more of like a like emotional needs
Yeah.
and like
yeah,
And I think for me it just kind of felt awkward because I felt like I was like I don't really need this scene to like know that Marcy meant well, you know what I mean? To know like, to understand there was some complexity to it. So yeah, to me it just felt like sort of I think to me back then it just felt like it just felt like weird, like sort of like unnecessary padding to unnecessary padding to like what you did in True Colors. But I think
what?
I do like how they I do like I do like how they ended up like handling it because it did end up not just being like in this page like it's like they admit like yeah they were bored as hell playing creatures and caverns. I think that's the name of the game. I forgot, but yeah they admit they admit in the journal that they were bored as hell, but Marcy still really appreciated that they tried and instead of like obviously forcing him to make this like a routine thing, it's just a one-off thing. So I just want to say like I'm just happy about those choices.
Huh. Okay. I feel like so for me like one of the things that to go in the entry a little bit. So like so one of the things I would always critique Marcy's growth with in the show is that it kind of sucked that we didn't see the aftermath of her growth. So like great example is Sasha, right? Sasha grows as a person and she uses her leadership for good and not evil and manipulation. She's seeing people's strengths as a way to help them out and lead the resistance, right? And have a better relationship with Anne. We see the aftermath of that change, what that change means for the friendship. But with Marcy, like Marcy grows as a person, but then we don't see that the word kind of thing with it. You could make the argument that the epilogue does, like to a certain degree, because Sasha is like actually looking at Marcy's webcomic and stuff. She's asking how she's doing. So, but I think what the journal does here is nice, where Anne and Sasha are really trying their best to understand like what Marcy's into, and even if they don't like it, they're trying. They're not just like being like, "Oh, this sounds dumb, whatever," and then just ignoring it. And then Marcy would not say anything about it, how she feels about it, and then this cycle would repeat for an ever and ever. So now, which is why I like that scene so much because it made a lot more sense of why Marcy felt like if she moves, then like the friendship won't matter, will be gone, right? Because if Anne and Sasha didn't give a shit about her interests or what she was into, like when they were like physically there, how the hell are they going to do that like when they're not, you know? So that what's the word? Like yeah, I think this like entry in general just adds a lot to how Marcy grows as a person and her acceptance in the core and recognizing she can't force people to enjoy the same things she does. But also Anne sees and Sasha too recognizes, hey, we could have at least tried to pay attention to our friend and know that we care about her, you know? Which is why I like, when Anne's like and Sasha go, "We love you and we forgive you," that adds so much to kind of that. I'm losing the word for it for that scene. So yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I totally see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I really like that this page where it's like they're like making use of like the time they still have left together, and then entry 126 is like it's Marcy at the gates of the
Ooh,
airport.
yeah, Marcy at the gates. Yeah.
um, yeah, it's kind of like it's very like I don't know what to call it, finality.
Yeah. Man, it was so funny because I know before the hardest thing, God, you remember like all the mass debates on like what the ending could look like. I remember like I used to think like one half of it would have been like the goodbye to Amphibia, then the other half would have been like this, pretty much. Like I always thought like they were probably gonna end like the trio saying a goodbye to each other or something like that. Like, this would like in a sort of special way, I don't know, it would connect back to how Marcy was like the instigator for all of this and just sort of have us end on like the trio separating right here. But like I don't know. Yeah. This has like the finale feeling. You're not wrong. This has that finale feeling.
Yeah, because the show kind of just like, I mean,
Like
it's not like I have no problem with them kind of like
yeah,
not doing this in the show in the series, because like there was so much happening, and like in Amphibia, like everyone in Amphibia I think needed that focus more than this, because that's been a greater, I think, focus. Not to downplay the importance of like kind of Marcy like saying goodbye to Anne and Sasha, but like it's not like,
I feel like we knew that was gonna happen
yeah,
though
like
already.
I
I
didn't need
don't
to see
need to
it.
see it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's a nice addition though. I think if you were
yeah.
gonna
No, for
have a Marcy journal, like I think
Yeah, you'd
it would
have to
be
have
weird
this.
not to have it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is one of the pages that were revealed in some of the previews, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Is it
damn.
it might like can I talk about, would it be, oh, okay, I guess it's relevant. Actually, we can,
You can go.
Oh, wait.
actually no,
What's
no,
up? What's up?
we'll
What's
talk
up?
about the content of the page itself, and then I'll talk about that stuff after. But like,
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Impact, but
Oh, yeah, I don't really have much else to say besides like Marcy kind of like reveals the pretty much it says the message of the show, which I really like, and she calls them my loves. This is very, very funny.
Oh, my God. Goodbye, my love. Jesus. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
this is
Keep going.
I'm just that's it. It's very gay. So
I mean it's not
Yeah,
that
like
gay. Like,
goodbye, my love.
I mean,
I mean,
What?
in the whole book. I mean, nah,
okay,
never mind.
the whole book, okay, the whole
The
book, yeah,
whole
but like
book.
the my like my friends have called like we've called each other love before.
What?
Like it's just,
Really?
yeah, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, it just never mind.
I mean, it's not. It's. I actually told him about this because I know the fan was talking about. He's like, so what, love? I mean, this by itself, it's like I wouldn't really suspect anything, but we've seen the way Marcy kind of like writes about this group.
Yeah.
And then once you see all of that, then here like it has like a different kind of context. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of joking, but I'm also not joking at the same time. So, but I wouldn't blame for the whole journal and like this whole thing too. I don't blame shippers for having a fun time with it.
Yeah, dude. Like
So
no, like this feels like literally like y'all. this feels like bait for the shippers. Like this is like catnip. Like that's how it
I
feels to
wouldn't
me.
go that
It's
far.
like no, just like the specific language. It's like they know what they're doing. Plus, they admit. Like, listen. I remember back when 3B started, we were literally all saying like, "Wow, that's kind of some sus lines here, some sus blushes." Like we were like, "What is going on here?" And then Matt freaking Brawley, right before the finale, he admits, "Yeah, we've been kind of leaning into that. You know, just we want to give the shippers something."
Wait,
And it was
when did
like I swear
when did
he
he
said
mention that?
it was like in an
I don't
article.
remember that.
I swear he had like 10. I swear he had like 10 articles he did before the finale aired. Like there was like so much stuff coming out, but like I remember there was one where he just admitted that they leaned into that a lot.
He did use
I
those
don't
like
remember
that like wording, like leaned into something, but like
Yeah,
he didn't want to like he didn't want to like shut down.
confirm nor deny, right?
Confirm or
Yeah.
deny. Like, I mean, it's interesting how the show kind of like gets like, I don't want to say gets away, but like
Oh, we talked about it in the shipping.
we talked about shit. We talked about this in the shipping episode. We don't need to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the freebie for the podcast.
Go to episode 69. Yeah, go to episode 69, guys. If you want to hear our thoughts on that.
But yeah, it's a nice kind of like
Great
finale.
page.
Yeah, this page is a really like nice finale for, I guess, for this trio.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of, she didn't really write anything about like, Marcy didn't write anything about Olivia, Yunan, and Andreas. But like I know the show kind of like,
That's
Oh yeah,
the show
a
kind
good
of
I didn't
point.
even notice.
tells it to us, but
I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's
That's
just it's like one of those things. I feel like it's like one of those hard to swallow pills. I guess. You guys know what I mean. It's like, let's be honest. Her only real friend was Andrew. Right? Like I
well.
know there was living in the end, but it's like come on.
All right. So like, I think what's the word? I feel like with Olivia and Yunan, yes, she doesn't have a. I'm gonna go back on a take I said in part 2 a bit. I think I was a little capping there. Like, I think honestly, because I look back, I'm like, nah, that's not how I think. I was just saying shit. So like, I think with Olivia and Yunan, like, so I might talk about fandom a little bit here, but I kind of felt like because Olivia and Yunan didn't follow like the Newt moms role that the fandom was kind of making up before Olivia and Yunan. After it, people kind of thought Olivia and Yunan only want Marcy to beat Andreas. And I guess that's sort of true, but like they clearly still care about her safety. Like so like it's not like they're like cruel monsters just trying to use Marcy for their own agenda. Like so I would still consider Marcy's relationship with them to be valuable, or at least her being like valuable enough to talk about. You know what I mean? So, and with Andreas too, I think that was. I'm not sure if that was a lost opportunity. I didn't feel like not knowing how Marcy thought about Andreas was like a big deal, but I also could completely understand if someone thought it should have been in the journal. Like I didn't feel like bad about it. I was like, yeah, that works. I felt like that one line in The Hardest Thing was like enough. Because there's a lot in that scene, but like it doesn't go too far with like Marcy completely forgives Andreas. No, that doesn't happen. And Andreas isn't buddy with Marcy. There's kind of like it toes that line that I feel like going into detail about it you can still toe it, but like I was sort of satisfied with what we got,
yeah, like
know.
the show I think gave a very like satisfying like ending to like those relationships, but like seeing what the journal has given us, it's like I would have thought they would have given us something on that, but it's not. It doesn't like.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't break the immersion of the journal for me.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, it's weird because I feel like part of what's made it so hard for us just to like sort of describe the vibe of the journals because it's I don't think it's trying to I don't even think it's trying to give closure. I think it's just like it feels like a bunch of deleted scenes are here in a way. Like it feels like it feels like these are all deleted scenes that were cut off from like the 11-minute or 22-minute runtime. Like it honestly
Yeah, I can
because
see what you mean.
it's like because if they wanted because I feel like this is just like all the I don't know like because I think you're right because like part of why we didn't honestly I'm guessing why we didn't get any extra Andreas or Olivia yeah so because like dude what they did was what they did like it was more than enough honestly just that one exchange between Andreas and Marcy said enough about where they both stood as people with each other so it's like I don't know like honestly the journal stuff is probably just like hey here's some cool stuff that we wanted to put in the show but either it didn't fit or I don't know, or just like we can have in the episode. Honestly, it kind of feels like that. I think it's like I feel like it's that's the vibe. I feel like that's the real vibe here. I feel like that's why looking at it as if it's for like I don't know. Maybe this is my own guess I just came up with. But like I guess maybe that's why it's so hard to like see this as like a journal that's for people like us or a journal that's for like people who are just thrown out about season 3 because it's like it's not really trying to satisfy either side. It's just like it just feels like here's some extra stuff that we thought would have been cool having the show or something. I feel like that's the vibe.
I feel like these scenes do add a lot to Marcy's arc though. Like again, like her being able to like use her growth is a nice addition. Like because again, like she tells the core to like fuck off and then like she gets out of the core and then she's like doing a space battle and then like that's it pretty much she says goodbye and then she dips like so which by the way I like Marcy's arc in the show like I'm not like saying it was like poorly done but like it was something that I thought about because I feel like Anne and Sasha got that time to have that aftermath so but I would, at least for this epilogue portion, I don't think it was necessary, but like this is definitely like a worthwhile bonus. Like I think it definitely it works for me. So
No, I think like no, I think like everything that the journal has is valid. So I'm like, but I feel like there's really anything I've read that I feel like complaining about honestly. So like, nah, I'm still with you there.
okay.
should we go into the epilogue now?
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. So, 23-year-old Marcy finds the journal, and
46.
yeah, same time. Like coincidentally, she's like going to California to see them, to see Sasha and Anne. Uh, she's kind of like reflecting about like how like she was able to kind of like move on, meet new people, and talks about her web comic. uh, and the cover art of this book is actually I think the very first sketch that Matt made for Amphibia. Like he revealed this I think at Pixelotl.
uh,
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
think so.
know.
Like this picture of like Anne like in a forest and like this is kind of like the first sketch he had or concept he had of Amphibia, or one of the earliest ones. And it's nice to see that she's profiting off her time in Amphibia.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah,
grind.
I like I mean I feel like everyone made this assumption, but like it's nice to get like an idea that Marcy is time when moving away was actually pretty positive. She made friends pretty easily. Like it worked out. I feel like I'm talking about the fandom too much, but there was definitely like a weird, maybe not after the hardest thing, but like I feel like Marcy's moving away was always portrayed as like this evil, vile thing. Like she'll be like alone forever or something, which is what the core tells Marcy.
Yeah,
Like the only thing
yeah.
waiting for you out there is rejection and misery. So it's like I it's nice to get confirmation of that. I mean, I made the assumption because of what she does in the shows in her arc, but I like that addition. So.
Yeah, and adult Marcy
Yeah.
kind of like she's very like she points out the fact that she doesn't talk to Sasha and Anne every day is fine. It's normal. Like healthy even. um,
Yeah, plus it's like it's crazy how she says like, yeah, I made friends pretty easily. Like when I when I started my life, it's like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it is funny looking back because I feel like I kind of fell for like the I don't want to be rude and call it nonsense, but it was very much it was. I guess I could see where they're coming from, but it was like very much in like guys, like she's going for like a natural thing, and her life isn't going to end all because she doesn't get what she wants by age 13. It's like I don't know. I guess yeah. This does feel nice just that like just to have them. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like this is good. This is nice.
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, she's gonna stay in California for a few weeks for Anne's birthday.
And she's gonna stay with Sasha.
Well, they don't say that at the time at this point.
Oh, they don't.
No, I
Oh,
think that's in
oops.
the I think that's in the very next page, but it's fine. It doesn't.
Oh.
I just need to point that out. It's like she was just gonna stay there. Then I mean, oh, she's bringing the journal along since she's found it. And then yeah, entry 128. It's like they've met up. Uh, yeah, like she was just gonna stay for a few weeks, but like she enjoys being in California, so it's like her job doesn't really affect where she is in the moment. So Sasha says she can stay with her as long as she wants. She does comment on seeing Sasha and Anne again. Um, like
Wait, we're on entry one
yeah, we're on 128
twenty.
now. Sorry, I
Okay,
should have said that,
okay.
but
Now you're all good.
and yeah, this is the last entry.
Oh.
She calls Sasha and Anne gorgeous, and then starts talking about love. So it's like,
Of them
okay,
gorgeous.
like
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. I do. Okay, I do really like the idea of Sasha and Marcy like living with each other with a bit. Because again, in the show, we don't get a lot of
yeah,
Sasha and Marcy content. So like,
crazy.
it's nice that the show kind of sets
Yeah.
up like
Sasha RC
this ability.
dynamics. We've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
and I think that was the thing. I think people even not made this assumption, but I feel like I saw fandom content of that before the journal. So it's probably more Sasha and RC stuff than Sasha RC stuff. So, but I really like that addition. That's cute. I think
Yeah.
them having the ability to connect with each other when they've grown 10 years older is nice, and that's a dynamic I'd like to see if we ever get more Amphibia content. But I don't know. I think Matt's willing to do it, but that's a whole thing.
yeah, and it kind of ends. with like Anne getting a call from Terry talking about exciting news, and it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it just gives you just a little nugget.
I don't. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It makes you think. Like it just.
Yeah, it makes you think. All right, it makes you think. Definitely makes you think. I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about this, y'all. I don't know about this.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I had to think about this.
if they gave
It's a
us
thinker.
like anything more than that, I probably would have. Like, it's hard for me to like critique just like the hope, like, like just like the what did Matt tell us in the interview, like that sense of hope or something, like that might.
The hope that like some things you let go will make its way back to you. So like
Yeah,
there's a
like
chance that Anne could meet the planters again, could go to Amphibia again. He kind of set that seed in the interview, you know. So the journal is kind of watering that seed, I guess. It hasn't blossomed, but like we get if we ever had more content, it could. And yeah,
but I don't think Matt would ever go like they wouldn't go that far.
I don't think they would either. So can I just go like on like thoughts on that like
Yeah.
as a whole
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so like at first when I heard that, I was like I'm a little iffy about that. I'm not sure if I like the idea of Anne going back to Amphibia when the whole big thing of the finale is that we separate from it kind of forever. And then like the more I thought about it, I mean I would okay. The more I thought about it, I like the idea of Anne and Sasha Marcy being able to go back, but it's not like an instantaneous thing. Like they can't go back whenever they would feel like it. Like it's almost like going to like a different country, right? You'd have to like take an airplane and go all the way there and then yada yada. It should take time and effort to get back and forth to Amphibia. So it's not like they can just go whenever, you know? Like maybe every year, every 2 years or something. Then I would be okay with it. Because again, like I don't mind the idea of the girls being able to meet, go to Amphibia again and whatnot, and see how their growth as people has changed, how they view Amphibia and all that. But making it like a permanent, like you can go on the weekends whenever you want. I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. But I feel like Matt, if we ever did get a continuation, Matt wouldn't do that. You know, I feel like Matt knows like the weight of the ending, and this little like ounce of hope for it was a way if we do get that opportunity, like I feel like Matt would handle it well. You know, like I don't think he'll fuck up the ending. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
yeah. I have hope that
Yeah.
things will be okay if we ever move forward from this point.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, it kind of ends with her like going off and just signing off, and we get that last little like sketch of her, and we also get like she signs the journal, and like Sasha and Anne sign it too, and like like Sasha's signature, it just I mean, you know, a signature is like, you know, it's supposed to be you and unique. It just like
Yeah. Like.
I know like I know she's like a psychologist now, or so it's like
Yeah. Like a therapist. So it's
therapist.
like.
Yeah, so like imagine like seeing that in your
Yeah. It's like a. Yeah. Like it's her professional signature.
I assume she didn't make it professional because it's in Marcy's journal, so she made it very unique to her. So
Yeah.
it fits her
It's.
though.
Yeah. It is pretty adorable for the journal line on this. I mean, this is This is wholesome.
Yeah, I like how it's written in the ink of their Calamity Gems too. That's nice.
Yeah. And I guess that's Marcy's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It was one hell of a read. It even has the codes on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to decipher those, you know. But everyone already did, so it's like
Yeah.
that'd be fun for kids though. Like
Yeah.
who weren't in a
Yeah,
fandom.
sort of go back, look at the series, yeah, break it down. Also, wow, is that like a coffee stain or something on it too? Wow.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sort of ring on it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess final thoughts, general thoughts on the journal, like this is a really nice addition. Like, not a lot of Disney shows get like the like opportunity to do stuff like this, like additional content. So like regardless of like how I was feeling like for a certain page or like I was kind of hard on the and section. Not hard, just like I was just this is stuff I already know, but like I'm still grateful we still got it. Like I can hold it, it's printed. I was able to support it, and this journal like overall was like a really great addition to the show. Um, I guess Impact. What are your thoughts on the journal as a whole?
So I think I really enjoyed my time with the journal. When coming into it, I was more excited for the Anne section than the Marcy section. And looking back at it now, like now I think about my full thoughts. I think the first part with Marcy probably is the best part of the book for me. I really liked getting Marcy's time in Utopia, and sort of getting like extra pieces to her arc that I think we didn't need to see, but I also like it's extra Amphibia content that's fun as hell. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say no, So I really liked that. I liked Anne's part of the journal was also really fun too. I think getting those extra details in 3A was fun. The art is great, by the way. I don't think we talked about that too much, but the art is really good on
Oh
Amphibia.
yeah, the art was really nice. Yeah, really
Yeah,
charming.
and like yeah, in general, this was like it was a really fun way to kind of have this retrospective of the series. I mean, I guess it moves. What doesn't remove season one? It mentions it, but like this was kind of a fun retrospective of going back to seasons 2 and 3 and kind of getting a different viewpoint of it, or with Anne in this case, an extra detailed view of it. So I I like it. I think this was really fun. I think it's worth buying for sure. Like if you are a big Amphibia fan, like support this thing. It's great. And it's nice to have like physical media of Amphibia. I hope we get more stuff like this, maybe like DVDs or something, or I don't know. More physical content for Amphibia would be nice. I like being able to hang this on my bookshelf or whatever. And it's well made too. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Impact. Nick, what are your overall thoughts on the journal?
Yeah, pretty much like a really fun read. Honestly, I'm just with Impact there that it's just so nice to get this sort of extra content after the series ended because like yeah, that's really rare when it comes to animation. Like there's this weird thing where creators will just try to get that done, but then there's just radio silence from their studios. So yeah, it is a miracle that we managed to get something like this, and for it to be this good to give us just to feel like another just to feel like another like sort of quality aspect of Amphibia. I'm really happy that we got something like this.
All right, thank you, Nick. I'm just like trying to remember some other things I want to bring up. Uh, I guess Anne's portion. I know she mentioned her like favorite memories of Sprig. It's like she brought up like Croak Punishment and Grubhub Day,
Croaking
and
punishment.
those were like episodes
Yeah,
that I didn't really
apologize.
like.
The
Yeah,
cop
I thought it was really
episode.
funny. Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
just
like
like
the
a
only
really
episode.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I think they use like they them pronouns for Terry. That kind of like
For Terry.
yeah, that was like an
Yeah.
interesting thing that
Yeah,
they kind of.
I talked.
Oh, you talked about
Oh,
on. Okay, that's good.
yeah, like because I know with Terry, like this wasn't like not a big thing people talked about. Well, not hold on, like I feel like it's forgotten about in terms of like speculation of season 3. But I know like people were predicting or at least thinking like Terry could have been non-binary. I'm not sure why specifically, like her and not like maybe not her, excuse me, them, but not like any other of the 3A characters. But it was a popular thing enough that I think Adam and Matt noticed it and were just like, we can just change their pronouns and make them they and them. Because in the show,
Yeah,
I
they never
don't
really
think anyone.
specify it.
Yeah, so it's like you can do whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Even you could change it in the journal, even if they were said in the show. Like yeah,
My only nitpick for the journal, like for like the when people were promoting the journal, it's like I wish. I think the biggest highlights for me were like the Marcy at the gates like airport goodbye, and the Valeriana reveal, and like both of those things were kind of
yeah,
revealed before the book came out. So I
Yeah,
was like
we
extremely
lost all
like
the hype.
excited at both of those things, and like I think the Valeriana code thing, that was just something that Matt kind of like just showed in a screenshot or something as like a preview, and like that's nice, but like I would have liked to been like super surprised by that by like once I read the book and found out what the translation was, but and I think the Marcy like the airport scene was kind of like, or the airport page was kind of already revealed in a someone's
yeah,
review, like yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and I think that reviewer kind of revealed a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of torn on that because like I get like you want to like get people excited to buy, like to actually like buy this book, but like
yeah.
it's like you didn't need to reveal
I,
all of that, like especially
yeah,
like the final few pages, like
Yeah, damn. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be Amphibia if we didn't have like if we didn't have like massive spoilers of like like leaked to us
yeah,
weeks in
because like
advance. Like it wouldn't be Amphibia without that.
yeah, it was so hard to talk to you, Nick, about it because like I know you were just
Yeah.
trying to stay like like you're trying to like go into this like blind, like
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was like staying away from spoilers, avoiding everything. Like, I mean, it was, it's like it's like what is with that? Like every major thing in Amphibia, it gets leaked it gets leaked somehow. Like we just never get a break as a fandom.
yeah, but that's another conversation, I guess. That was just me being.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think we discussed this in the previous recording. But yeah, like the book did really well, so there's a chance we could get more stuff like this.
More more content. I think Matt said like we could get a manga or art book, and the art book lost, which is like,
It's all
so
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm not really sure what the manga. I wish Matt said that, like, what the manga what would be about, because I feel like that was the question that would make like if that was answered, then like I would like think of my opinion a little differently about it because it literally could be about anything. I know Matt said like there was a question about like the core in some like book signing or whatever. He said that he would be down to do a comic on that, or like not down to do it, but it would be cool to do like one on like the backstory of the core and stuff. So that would be neat. I don't think I need that, but I mean I would be down with it. I'm not gonna say no. So
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess that kind of like concludes this recording. And once I know what we're going to do next, um, yeah, actually no, I can't tell you guys what we're going to do next 'cause I don't know yet. But when we do, it'll be out, and hopefully you'll listen to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's. But until then, thanks for listening and say goodbye, everyone.
Peace, everybody.
See you guys.
See ya.